are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fun Speculation Podcast FSP episode number 82. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's been an interesting day for sure, like many in the gaming world, and got a lot to discuss. We got the Game Awards nominees announcements today. It was around noon, I guess, today, and it was a interesting watch, that's for sure. It's a hilarity ensued, I feel like, the rest of the day on Twitter as things like Xbox tax became trending. And people were asking, what is that? What is the Xbox tax? Well, we'll explain some of that on this show, but we'll also talk about all these nominees and what happened today and revealed, I feel like, some of the discourse we have had numerous times over the industry and games media in general just being complete dumbasses, to put it frankly, and it kind of made things a little bit transparent. And I'm not just talking about some of the obvious snubs. I'm just talking about even some of these categories and some of the nominees that were there. But we'll have some fun talking about it. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. You guys rock. And we got an awesome panel here as well. We got 4 already here, including plus me, so it's 5, and then maybe Psycho will join us too. But yeah, we'll have some fun. How you doing, Jasper?
Pretty good. Just been living my life, I guess. Watching the nominees. I don't know.
Living your life, right on. And you're able to live your life despite the travesty today. You're still able to move on and continue things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's Game of the Awards, so it's like doesn't really affect life. It's just, you got to touch some grass, I guess.
That's a good point, right? Fair enough. How you doing, 3-bit? You're clean shaven today. You also got your Xbox back, so that's good.
I do. Yeah, I finally got my Xbox back. I've been pretty good. I started like downloading Alan Wake 2. Some other games. I was watching Fuzzy earlier on the show of when like their live reactions to everything. So I pretty much had similar reactions. And I'll probably have a little bit mini rant as well, but for the most part, still a good day, still a great year for games, and let's get into it.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, thanks for being here today, 3-bit. I got to ask you, because I saw you put in the DMs earlier, 3-bit, that you may not even watch the Game Awards now, but like we're gonna coast here, so you're just gonna like skip it. You're gonna say screw
I don't know.
Fun speculation and not hang out with us.
It's just annoying. Every year we deal with freaking Keeley, man. I'll probably show up.
It's not just him. I'll explain. I'll explain.
It's like the same thing every year.
Yeah,
we deal with the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll show up for you guys, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. How you doing, Fuzz?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here with you guys. Man, I just say let's move on to the Snub of the Year awards. That'll be the thing going forward. But
this year especially, right? I mean, there's a lot of great games that kind of got left out.
I mean, even the most anticipated, kind of like, well, I'm pretty sure we'll get into it.
We're gonna go through every fucking category of note here and break it down how much nonsense there is in this Game Awards this year.
Oh man, I can't wait. I got a lot to say, but we'll definitely get into it. But man, let's do this.
Yeah, right on, dude. And Bob joining us on FSP. What is up, Bob? Man, how are you, bro?
Well, today was going well until we saw the nominees for the Video Game Awards, and then that just completely derailed my life. No, things are going good. We had a lot of exciting games to enjoy this year. Some interesting choices that were made, but I'm still in the camp that we need to have our own award show.
We will.
We
will do that.
As someone. Go ahead. Sorry.
You put it in the DMs, and I was like, "Yeah, we got to do it this year. We got to do it."
I'm the one with the crazy ideas. So I'm just like, "Hey, we should do any of these things." And I'm like, I don't know. We don't have time for all of them. We have lives, and I don't know. like everyone else is saying, it's the video game awards. We've come a long way that Starfield actually was mentioned, let alone snubbed. So I think it's good, and you can't tell other people like what to nominate, I guess. So you kind of have to take award shows with a grain of salt, because really,
put a fucking remake up there.
yeah, I think the remake was probably the worst part. But it's an award show; it's a grab for attention and ad revenue, and basically just a money machine for the people that put it on. So it's like the victors write history. Those who write award shows decide what the best games are every single year. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some differing opinions, and at the very least, we know they put on a good show with all those ads dollars they raise, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all watch the Game Awards for the announcements, right? I mean,
I watch it for Flute Guy, dude. Pedro Estache, dude.
Yeah,
that's my dude. That's.
I mean, last year was kind of light in the announcements department for the Game Awards, but I feel like this year it's gonna be better. So, but yeah, thanks guys for being here. We already got a $5 super chat from Alvin. Appreciate you, Alvin. Says back from traveling. Question: how is Cyberpunk nominated for literally anything? Expansions are a go now, huh? Well, we're gonna break that when we get to that category too. Best ongoing game. Interesting.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
Game of the Year is its whole separate conversation, but like a lot of the separate categories, like ongoing or community, we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk about
it. I didn't really get the community one at all.
Oh, especially Destiny. Oh, yeah, there's so much. Okay, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna break this down into some categories. But you know, I gotta say, like the system in which this award show goes. Apparently, I guess they have like 120 morons they send the nominee list to, the list to, and those dumbasses, whoever they are, put the nominations through, and those are the games that end up making the cut.
It's just IGN employees.
Probably so. 120 people.
Metro's on there too.
And I gotta question the intelligence level of what a category or a genre is sometimes when they receive these lists, because like there's some weird stuff going on here. And I feel like maybe they put certain things in certain categories just to fit it, as opposed to it actually belonging in a category, which is strange if the 120 morons out there actually are the ones that put them there. I kind of have a feeling that I don't know, there's some suggestions or like a short list kind of given, maybe. I don't know how it works. I wish there was some transparency on it, but there is none, other than there's 120 people that get to vote on it from Games Media. What I was saying earlier about Games Media is like, we've talked a lot about the clickbaitiness, the obvious like biases out there and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, you know, PlayStation, Nintendo, all these things are super loved by Games Media, especially, and that comes through clear on a lot of the Xbox coverages and things like that. So when we did our predictions on Xbox Ultimate on Friday, it wasn't a surprise to many of us that Starfield would get snubbed for Game of the Year. I felt like that was pretty easy to call, right? Especially this year when we have so many damn good games. You had multiple big games from Nintendo. You had Spider-Man 2 release, and that's a given right there for 3, right? And then a lot of other great games too. But the other aspect of something I saw today going on social media was people. There's a lot of people that were like, "What the hell's going on? Like the Xbox tax is real, all these things," and the Xbox tax actually became trending. But then I saw the gatekeepers again. These fucking gatekeepers of conversation out there that just say, "Oh, you guys are babies. Everybody's babies because of crying about. Why do you care so much about the game?" I don't give a shit about the Game Awards, but what I'm saying is, this stuff becomes so transparent and obvious. You can't hide this shit anymore. It's like so blatant. It has been for so long. And if people are gonna call it out, you go out there and you call them babies and stuff. Now, what's weirder? Actually saying something because you're like, "Oh, that sucks that this game didn't get in there," or "What's going on with the Game Awards," or whatever. or you being upset that people are saying that. I feel like it's much weirder for these motherfuckers on social media and Twitter and all these things calling people babies and stuff because they actually give a shit about games. Like, fuck off. Like, let people just say what they want to say. If you don't like what they want to say, move on. You got to go make a post calling people babies because Xbox tax was trending. I got to thank the Game Awards. I got to thank Jeff Keighley right now because he actually caused something that brought light. Many people out there were educated on what the Xbox tax is.
A lot of people didn't even know what it was.
That was
6%.
hilarious. That was hilarious because like Xbox tax is trending, and I saw these posts like what's the Xbox tax? what is that? And then it's like you see all these explanations and stuff. Now then you have the gatekeepers out there. We're not allowed to talk about this. Oh, wait, we can talk about everything else. We just got to be happy that we have this show. Just be happy. It's amazing. What a year for games. Oh, yeah, that's great. Screw you. If we want to say something, we're going to say something. Xbox tax is real. Today was even more proof about it. Media is blatantly biased. At least 120 motherfuckers that got those nominee lists were. That's for damn sure. But, you know, I guess more transparency would be good, but it is what it is. It is just
They
a
should
show.
like publish like all the whoever like the people that ever vote on. They should publish all their nominees that they put out, like so you could see like IGN voted for this category or voted for this category and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
They
that
do
would-
that because
Yeah.
they're
They
too
don't have to
scared
put
do stuff
names.
that.
Like if they don't want to put names, then they could put
no,
like.
fucking put names. Don't be a bitch.
I think-
I mean, they're not gonna put. They're not gonna do that though.
I think the
IGN
problem is
voted.
though that like you know how people are on the internet though, like if they publish that, like people are gonna get literal death threats. So I mean,
Well,
like
yeah, there's people taking it too far too. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
like I got death threats when I was talking about Starfield, like with my short form content on Instagram, dude. People are wild.
Why do you love Starfield? You're so weird.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, like these things. I feel like kind of what it is they probably get like this ballot system and they can just write whatever game they want in each category, and it's that's 120
Yeah,
of them,
and then they take however many.
whoever
Like
the
if
top
Baldur's Gate comes out 80
is,
times or
Yeah.
whatever, then this like that's the nominee.
I mean that's how I would do it. They take the top 6, but the thing is, like, I don't think these people know what a genre is or like category. Like what
Yeah,
these
they fucking thought
categories mean.
Spider-Man was an RPG for like the longest time. It's like,
That's true. There's a lot of confusion out there, right? But it's just there's so much stuff out there, and like here's the thing, right? I see people saying, "Oh, it's just the Game Awards. Why does anybody care so much about the Game Awards?" Jeff Keighley wants us to care about the Game Awards. He wants this to be the premier Game Awards show that means something. He wants this to be like the Oscars, right? He wants us to be that, right? So if we are criticizing the format and things in which this supposedly trying to be credible awards show is formatted, or the way they do their ballots, the way they do their nominations and stuff, that's justifiable when it's supposed to be the biggest award show in gaming, right? So it's right if people this is what we got, you know. The gaming is our passion, gaming is our hobby, we love gaming, right? Like we care about these games and stuff, and the Game Awards is the most forward facing, most prominent award show that exists in gaming, and they want us to watch, and they want us to tune in each and every year, and they ask us to care, and Keighley wants us to care. So my thought is, if you want us to care and you want us to appreciate this, and you actually do want us to respect it as an award show, not just an announcement show, then you have to do better with some of the situations that you have going on with the systems you have in place for nominations and ballots and the games that are included in your show. And that's just the bottom line. And it's not just about Starfield. It's not just an Xbox thing here. This is a gaming thing in general. It is a travesty to gaming when this is supposed to be the premier show, and you have some of the biggest games of the year that you could ask almost any gamer right? Some of the biggest games this year, and they don't even get one nomination for obvious categories that they should belong in. And instead, you have other games that don't even belong in these categories or genres get put in there, right? So fix your shit so we can celebrate the awards as well as the announcements. And move the shit to January or February. It's so stupid that it's in November. I understand the marketing aspect of it, but it's not
But
never going
that
to be
just
credible.
goes into the type of show it is, like it being in December and deciding like a week before certain announcements. I don't know. It's really weird the way they do it. The fact that it's in December and then like, oh, there's a close off date, even though games are still coming out. Like that's why the Oscars are in January or January to February, I think. So that you get the whole year's conclusion and then you can vote. But
Well,
I mean, I have so many
are
problems
there
with this show.
are there other publications that do like major like award shows in the gaming industry like this anymore though?
They
Like,
have prestigious award shows like there's Dice.
Dice?
The
oh,
BAFTAs,
okay, yeah.
There's the Golden Joystick
I haven't been
Awards,
super close to it.
which they just had, but none of those are
Right.
really like
That
watched.
was a mess, dude.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. None of those are very like watched or anything. Like I guess
Yeah.
the Dice
Like this
Awards
is
are
the
pretty
biggest
close.
watched one.
Baps is probably watched more than Dice. Dice
'Cause-
is more of an
yeah.
industry thing for like the actual devs and stuff. Whereas BAFTA also encompasses like movies and stuff, I think. So.
Yeah, because this is less about the games, but I mean, part of it's all again about the ratings and like how big you can make it. Like
Yeah.
the Golden Joystick Awards probably kind of goes earlier than like the Game Awards, just so they can kind of
Yeah.
get the eyes first, you know.
And none of them like even come anywhere close to the realm of how big the Game Awards are, though. You know what I
Right.
mean,
I-
which is
I
props
feel
to
like-
Keeley for building it up.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like it's placed at early in December though, because this is like the peak of like advertising spend.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this is where they're gonna get like the most from all these companies as far as advertising things and like the most income. Like there's definitely a reason for why it's where it's at.
Oh, for
But
sure. I'm
It
just
doesn't
saying,
make it the best award show for sure by
it's
far
like,
for
it
the whole
makes the
year.
awards like really not incredible and like pointless, but like if they want it to be serious, you got to bite the bullet. It's become big enough now. I feel like if you have it in
Mhm.
January, February, you're still gonna get tons of marketing dollars, but it'll actually
Right. Yeah,
help
yeah.
the credibility of the award show
Mhm.
to where that actually means more, because you have games that come out like mid-November a lot of times that are huge games, like and they just get left out. And
It's on
I
next
wonder-
year's list, bro.
no, that never happens.
I wonder
Never.
if Bill Clinton's gonna win any awards this year.
Yeah, probably. Man, if that kid manages to get on stage at another show, like,
Such a
man.
content leech.
Mm.
Well, hey, let's do this, guys. Let's. Oh, hey,
All right, let's do
Psycho.
it.
How you doing, Psycho? Good. Yeah, great, man. All right, thanks for being here. Are you there, bro? He's probably getting his mic set up.
Me?
Well, yeah. Hi.
Hey, all right.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay, right on, man. You're bringing the energy today. Nice. I love it.
Nah, I just got up from a nap because I had a bad headache.
Oh,
but-
that sucks.
yeah, but seeing the shit on Twitter, I was like, I can't fucking deal with this bullshit today.
It gave you a headache? Is that bad?
No, work did, but
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
and then that just evolved it even to a
Yeah.
migraine. I was like, fuck this.
So I'm gonna go kind of backwards through these categories. I'm not gonna bother with the fucking esports shit. Like,
Oh, before you do, like, did you see that the one guy that was a coach or listed as a coach wasn't even a coach for last year?
Oh, that's cool.
He was like,
Just some of these
for all
categories, man.
seriousness, right now, he was
really?
like, I wasn't even a coach for this year. I think it was wait, which one was it? And I voted for just to like stick it to the awards. XTQZZZ or whatever for Team Vitality. Yeah, he
Mhm.
wasn't a coach last year.
Wow.
This feels like
Right
they just
on.
throw in.
That
Yeah.
sums up the video.
That's
Oh,
how good of a
wow.
coach he is,
Sure.
though. He transcends time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he left a lasting impression. Like he's like you know, one of those football
Wow,
coaches
what was
that has
that
the
guy's
dynasty
name?
of
He's
coaches.
John Madden. John Madden of esports.
Oh, right on. Anyways, let's go with the first one that I think their obvious biggest snub was
Sim?
content creator of the year. I mean, it should have been Fun Speculation, like the channel as a whole. I mean,
Mhm.
that's obviously the biggest snub, right?
Of course.
But no,
Are you at Sim? Are you going from Sim strategy and up?
no, I'm going. We're starting at the end, so
We're starting at content creator.
That is the end for me. Well, are you on the site?
What, Sim is like
That's
halfway
way.
through that list.
Yeah, that's way.
I'm looking
like,
on
Where
Twitter.
did you start?
Oh yeah, no, I'm on the website.
Just go to the website.
Yeah,
Oh,
most
okay.
anticipated game.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Man, is this website just running terribly on Chrome for anyone else?
No, it's pretty good.
I'm an opera man.
Maybe I'm just need to clear my history.
So there's only 5 anticipated games instead of 6.
Yeah.
I got a problem with this one, but go ahead.
Okay. So most anticipated games was Tekken 8. Fine.
Is it really?
Well,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
ask Steel Rain, that's for sure. Right?
Mhm.
Shout out to Steel. Star Wars Outlaws, 100%.
Mhm.
Right? Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
That's weird because there's like 17 of those, so I don't know why you anticipate it.
no slide against Yakuza, but like we get one every fucking year. You know, it's like
Every 3 months.
There,
is
there's
Yang-
definitely
is Yang
two
Ya
games that
voicing
are-
this one because that would definitely take it off the list.
I mean,
there's
not
at
more
least
than
2
some
games I
other
can think
games.
off right at the top of my head that are higher up on the list for any platform than this is. But
So, like
Continue.
Keely said, the game has to have been announced, right?
That's why GTA is not on that list.
but it was
But
right?
it-
Yeah.
announced.
There's
There
no
was-
like official announcement. It's just that it's just announced because it's in their financials.
So
That's the only reason we know.
people,
But Hades 2 isn't announced really either then, if that's the case. It's not even in early access yet. And they don't even have a date for early access.
was there a trailer like at a show for Hades 2? I think there was.
There was a teaser. I think.
Yeah. There was a teaser trailer. So are we going by teaser trailers?
So going,
only?
if we're going by
I think it
trailer,
has to have a trailer that's out there, and it's
but
like
I'll put one out there that's PlayStation, just so Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like a Dragon
Yeah, that
Infinite
has a
Wealth
trailer.
is more anticipated than Wolverine.
I don't think so.
no. That's a trailer. Yeah.
Who picks these games? Like Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
Dan Stapleton.
You can't tell me there was out of the 120 voters out there, like more people picked Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth than Wolverine or Hellblade 2
or a vow.
Mhm.
or
like,
Avowed.
Yeah.
Or Clockwork
At least
Orange,
those
or
were the 2 I was
Clockwork
thinking of.
Revolution.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange. Nice. the adaptation, gaming adaptations coming next year.
I just hung the poster on my wall
I would've
today.
put,
It must be
I
a
would've
thing.
Factions.
Mm.
Mess with people.
Well,
Or
they're
even
still working on it. It's not
Marathon,
officially
like-
canceled. It's just delayed.
Delayed. Yeah.
I mean,
You'd even think like Marathon would be up there. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
even
huge
Marathon.
Even Marathon. That makes sense. You know.
I don't
but,
understand. Hades 2, I get hype for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I can't really argue with that, really. But like,
Yeah.
you know, but like, I
Infinite
guess,
Wealth. I'm sorry.
that is
There's so many more games. Yeah. And then it's only 5 slots. Like,
if
Game
Infinite
of the Year
Wealth
gets
doesn't sell
6.
30 million copies, there's an issue, right? It's not. What's the most any Yakuza games ever sold?
I don't know. I just know the
Lemon
new
say
one
3
finally
mil.
broke a record on Steam for like 19,000 players at one time. Or some
Right.
shit. That's the highest it's
I
ever
mean,
been.
there's like 20 fucking
like-
Yakuza games, and like they do okay, but like it's just weird to see that in this list. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. It's just like weird, out of place things. Like, what's the point of having this category if like it means nothing? How the hell does that game like get in there over all these other big games that we just mentioned?
It wasn't Hellblade 2. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's definitely weird.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
Is it text?
They're looking at what's coming soon on PlayStation. because of 2024 doesn't
Taxman.
really have any games. Marathon was delayed,
Yeah.
and Wolverine, nobody knows when that's coming out. So they picked just a random multiplat to put it in there. That sound feasible?
I
got
mean, even if that's the
three,
case, you can
four
still
random
name 5
multiplats.
other multiplats that would be better than fucking Yakuza.
I agree. This is,
I-
it's just
I
pick
feel-
one out of a hat.
I feel like the further we go down this list, though, like the more you can. It seems like it was just like kind of heavily curated. Like maybe they gave them like here's 10 games to choose from for each category,
Yeah.
and then like cast your vote for each.
And
and
then they
that
did a
was-
really shitty job picking the games in the list.
Yeah, like that's what it's because I mean that's how like I would do it, like just to make it easy and not get a bunch of random screwball answers from
who would be
120
picking that-
people.
What morons picking that curated list? If that is how it works,
Is that Keely's role? Like maybe he doesn't vote, but he chooses.
maybe it's
Like
I think
the
Keely's
game-
just a face for
But
it.
he puts the show together. He's not. Just
Yeah,
his
I
face.
mean
Fuck this.
he's still like the main producer. He's the money guy. Like he's going to be the final say on everything.
This
So I
is
mean,
his show. Like
and no matter
still
what,
his show.
at the end of the day, like
tries to
his
distance
name's
himself.
attached to it.
Yeah.
He constantly tries to. No, this is not my show, even though he's like paying for most of it and
Right.
putting
Well,
it together.
how is he gonna produce, host, present, like do everything that is like the show? Like it's his show, and then like try not to take any account. Like, oh, there's judges. It's like okay, but still, you're the one that like gave the information to the judges, and it's whatever. Like it's just you can't like not say that there's any because there's not necessarily an issue with having a bias, but like there is an issue with like not standing by like what you've created and the messaging that you're putting out into the world. Like why wouldn't you stand next to it? Why would you want to distance yourself from what is ultimately like a great show? But yeah, we're gonna be upset about some things, and we would hope that you would try and change them. That's the only reason why we're having a conversation about any of it, you know?
Yeah. There,
You know,
I mean, I am curious how that goes down, right? Like
I'm pretty sure it's not like most anticipated game. I don't know what it is. Here, take it, judges.
Yeah. He's not throwing darts at a
There's no way.
dartboard.
And he still says he literally stated the game of the year is weighted 90% by the 100 plus people who were chosen and 10% the people, and 10% the fans. Yeah, I get that. That's not what we're saying though. Like what we're saying is like the list that's sent to them for all these like all these categories. Like how is that curated? Like what is sent to the voters? Is it just like pick any game you want? Or is there like a short list, like you said? Right.
I feel like just for organization's sake, it's got to be the second one because especially like the more awards you add, like the more you complicate things. Like you have to because at the end of the day, there's got to be a deadline for someone to organize everything and produce a show. So
it
like
wouldn't really be that hard if he does it through like a website and they vote. They just type in whatever name they want, and the website would curate. Like
I mean, I did the same
game got
thing.
80
Right.
votes from the reviewers.
Yeah, but there
so
ain't
that
no way
obviously-
that
I don't
more
know.
How many
people
games
pick
came out?
Yakuza Infinite Wealth over like those other games. That's
Right.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I mean,
There's still
just no way.
probably a curated list just from knowing how these things are done. Like that just makes it easier. So then you don't have then there's not an argument between because I bet you on the back end I would be willing to bet, and this isn't what we're even here talking about. This is more of how it's made, but I guarantee you there's arguments on the back end between all the judges and everything. Like who voted for this? Like I guarantee you there's little petty arguments there too.
Yeah, I think it's all like just done in silence. Like they just like get an email that probably has a link and they just type stuff in, or they click on something on a like on a little like website that they made for it or something that they have.
Probably
They make a
Google Forms.
website for the judges.
Yeah, they
or
probably have to
something.
make an account like that they get access to or whatever, and then go like so that way they can verify who they are, and then they get it like a key,
I would-
and then they.
I would 90% bet it's just Google Forms. Like honestly, like
It could be.
it's a strong tool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I know some of the community stuff and the broader gaming community that we all have here. Like, there's been award shows and things like that where there's been Google Forms and stuff sent out. So it maybe that's what they do too. But if that's the case, I still don't understand how out of 120 people that like and most anticipated game, Infinite Wealth is there instead of those other games that we just rambled off. That just off the top of the head, that just unless it was
I
the
think-
same day that they voted that last trailer was shown. When was that trailer we got for Infinite Wealth and it looked like Animal Crossing, and was that at the
Was that at Tokyo?
The Xbox third-party show.
Tokyo Game Show?
Oh, yeah.
The Xbox
No,
third-party
yeah.
show. Yeah, maybe it was the same day as the Xbox third-party show, and that was like fresh in everybody's minds. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not even the worst category. It gets downhill from here.
So then their best adaptation. Do we care about this one?
It's whatever. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
this
even
is
think of
shows-
another one, to be honest.
Yeah. I voted for Gran Turismo because I actually like that movie. But anyway,
Oh, I didn't see that one yet.
See the movie.
it's good.
I threw away my vote to Castlevania just because.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Castlevania is freaking.
I mean,
dope.
to be fair, it's the only. I saw the Last of Us show. I wasn't crazy about it. I saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I liked the Gran Turismo movie better. So, I mean,
Yeah.
all right. So best multiplayer. Okay.
Best
the-
multiplayer.
and I was
This is a weird one.
Does this like mean for new games?
Yeah, it's only this
I would
year.
assume it's for new
okay.
games since
Yeah,
but
this year.
even with it being for new games, it just seems kind of odd.
You're gonna
Yeah,
have.
it's really weird.
This is so crazy to me. But if you have best multiplayer, if I guess if it's just this year, it makes sense. But it's really surprising to see a Nintendo game in best multiplayer.
Yeah, unless it's like Splatoon, right?
unless it's like Splatoon or something. But
So here's the nominees for best multiplayer game. Was there just not shit for multiplayer games this year? Like, because Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Street Fighter 6. I would say Street Fighter 6 makes a lot of sense because they have some really good multiplayer modes. They're Party Animals. Is a popular multiplayer game. Sure.
I know a lot of people addicted to Party Animals,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Diablo 4. I think that makes sense. And then Baldur's Gate 3.
What?
I don't
What?
see. Okay, so for Baldur's
it has
Gate,
co-op,
I know
but
it's co-op, right?
But just because it has
Why is that
multiplayer, it is-
multiplayer?
it is multiplayer. I mean, you can play co-op.
You can play online.
Have
but
you guys played a lot of Baldur's Gate yet, or
Yeah,
I beat it.
did you just play it solo then?
Yeah.
Most
Is
people
there
play it solo.
PvP in there?
No, it's just
It's P-
you're in a
Because-
party. You
yeah, it's the
do
story
co-op.
mode. You could co-op through the story.
I haven't dove in I haven't dove in
Divin?
much yet. Like, yeah, I haven't bought it yet. I'm waiting for it to go on sale because I literally bought too many games this year.
I mean,
but
to be
I-
fair, like I can't think of another like. What's the
that's
bigger
what I'm saying is
multiplayer
there-
game?
is-
Mhm.
Okay,
Vampire
Mortal
Survivors would
Kombat.
have been decent. Oh, but that's also the multiplayer
That
mode
came out last year, didn't it?
late. For it.
Mortal Kombat came out
Mortal
this year.
Kombat 1.
Mortal Kombat would have been a good one.
Yeah, so Mortal Kombat should have been there instead of Baldur's Gate. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care if it already has enough nominations. Mortal Kombat should have definitely been there over Baldur's Gate. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, that's-
just for the fact that it has actual like local PvP and online PvP. That trumps everything at that point. If you're gonna have Street Fighter, you should have Mortal Kombat.
That good point.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to
Street
think
Fighter
of
did
other
do a lot with their multiplayer though, like with the
open
with like the
world.
arcade
Maybe they didn't
rooms
want
and
two
everything,
fighting
the
games.
battle hub.
Jasper, did Overwatch 2
yeah.
launch this year or last year?
That was last year, but I just
Okay.
looked it up for best multiplayer. They could have put Counter-Strike 2 and BattleBit because those were fucking big games this year.
Yeah, BattleBit was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BattleBit.
Oh yeah,
But-
BattleBit was.
And
I feel-
Counter-Strike fucking 2.
I feel like Baldur's Gate's just going to be in any category that it qualifies for, and it's just going to end up sweeping the
it's
floor
just-
with everybody.
But like,
But ultimately, is that what's good for the award show? Just to include it to anything that it's applicable for, just because it's a good game?
well,
Like-
but that goes. That's what I'm saying. Like that goes to this like list. Is it cultivated or they? Because I can't think. 120 people get sent out to, and the category is best multiplayer game, and their immediate thought is Baldur's Gate fucking 3. Like
Well,
nobody,
or
literally
not the
nobody.
first game you-
fucking
not the game you
Super
think of when you
Mario
think-
Bros. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think of Mario as multiplayer. Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
It's not the game you think of when you think of best multiplayer. Oh yeah, Mario Bros. It's just
Does-
not the.
Does
title
this one
that-
have does Wonder have like special like multiplayer like
I'm
features or
sure it's
anything?
fucking co-op where
it's
you can get a
co-op.
Luigi,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that more than Baldur's Gate 3, but even then, I still think there's other games that are more multiplayer focused that would be better fitting.
I hope
Well,
I hope
Baldur's Gate
Party
3 had a
Animals
racing
wins.
section in it. Let's put it in the racing
so, like, that's the
category.
thing is like, if it's the media that picks these games, or is it a cultivated list? Like, still, like that's the question because it either Keeley's an idiot or the 120 games media people are an idiot.
Well, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't think Keeley's the one that's doing the work, though, at this point either. It's at his size where he probably has someone
Right.
else doing it.
So he
Steel
that
has a good point. Online co-op isn't really multiplayer. I mean, I kind of
I'd
agree
say
with that.
would
Steel.
mean like Diablo
The fuck
4
is-
also.
Well,
then,
is there
right?
is there a
That's a
separate
little bit.
like arguably there should be a separate
Diablo 4. So
Mhm.
Exo
Online
Primal?
co-op.
Yeah, that's a good one. Steel. That was
arguably there should be like a separate co-op section, I would
Remnant
say, or
too.
a separate
Mhm.
co-op award. Remnant was a lot of fun.
yeah. Remnant could have been there too. Like,
yeah.
it's just so many games that are focused on multiplayer that are built around it that like makes more
Mhm.
sense than some of these. Like, and that's no slight that's saying that those games are bad games. It's just how do they end up on this list? That's what I'm wondering. Like, how do those games end up on best multiplayer list? And however that happens, there's a fucking issue, right? There's an issue here, okay? That they need to fix because
next category.
yeah. Best sports racing. Okay, we got
There's typically enough sports games that there should be a separate sports category and a separate racing category.
Yeah.
But
maybe there's not
here
enough
we are.
racing games every year for that.
Also, who the fuck cares about Madden anymore? Like an NBA, it's like whatever.
So
but there's MLB The Show.
Yeah, MLB The Show,
Yeah.
the NBA 2K, there's Madden, there's no longer FIFA, but
It's UFC, I guess. I bet maybe they'll
UFC,
put that in
yeah.
a different
This year.
category.
Then there's also all the like little arcadey sports games that come out too. Like there was several of those this past year as well. All right, so EA Sports FC 24. Didn't it like not do very well or kind of get shit on this year a little bit compared to some of the other sports games? F1
Doesn't
F1
seem like it
23.
has this big of a drawer when it had the FIFA licensing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how
Yeah,
that pans
people are
out
probably
over time.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what the heck is that? FC.
F1
Where's for
23.
FIFA?
Forza Motorsport. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged.
That should be on there, actually. I heard that was really good.
The first one was
Mhm.
great. And then Crew Motor.
I haven't played the
Love
second
Hot
one.
Wheels
I played the first one.
Mm.
I don't really have any issues with this list except
Yeah,
like
it's like-
maybe the sports game they chose. Like I think they just picked it de facto or whatever. But
Yeah.
like,
Well, they
um,
could maybe even split up sports and racing at the
Yeah,
very
that
least.
really
if most
should-
of
I think
these,
that would have
if
been the
most of
better
these are
option.
racing games.
Yeah, but then you're gonna end up with like
Yeah.
Smurfs racing, Smurfs kart racing, because they're just gonna have to pick like a fucking.
Hey, there was a whole team that worked hard on that. Like someone neglected their family for years just for Smurfs racing. Okay,
Well, then they need to get that.
That
time.
Disney
They
racing
need to
game.
You
get
give
that
them your
time back.
flowers.
It was better utilized not making that game. Spend time with your family.
Oh, and don't forget, like now, more recently, what was it, WRC release? So that should count on that list as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of, which is a very good game. I actually love it. But there was another game, and you could have said, well, it missed the cutoff or whatever. But fucking Nickelodeon, like a Rumble 2 or whatever, Rumble Stars, whatever that Brawl. I don't even know. what
Yeah,
it is.
Brawls
Brawl
2.
Stars.
That shit made the other list, so we'll get to here in a second. So, and that literally just dropped.
Maybe it got better, but that was the first game I've ever refunded. So,
wow.
that- you just-
Yeah, the first one I
I-
off refunded.
but
Okay,
maybe
so
it got better. I don't know.
best sim strategy. This was we were kind of perplexed on this category the other day, trying to figure out when we were doing our predictions on like what this category all encompasses. Because what do they consider a sim, right?
Mhm.
Strategy is easier. You know, Sim is like, say like
Did
House,
Age of
House
Empires
Flipper is a
come out
Sim. You know what I mean?
this
Like I don't.
year?
Age of Empires came out 20 years ago, 3-bit.
Yeah, 20.
I'm
What
talking
about,
about
the-
you know what?
Minecraft Legends.
The
yeah.
remakes. They're putting remakes and remasters.
Yeah, I mean, it's Age of Empires is different. Like I wouldn't even count it,
The
even though it came out to
console
Xbox
version
this
is
year.
released.
Like it's still like the PC Definitive Edition came out a couple years ago. So
Yep.
it's like,
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Well, can tower
advanced-
defense stuff be included in this, or like Minecraft Legends? Would that not fit this category? Or
I think
it
it
would.
would.
Yeah. To be fair though, Jasper, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp made it. So that's a remaster of Advance
Yeah,
Wars.
that's an older game.
But that only came out. The remaster came out this year, and
Oh, okay.
it wasn't a PC version that came out 5 years ago and then finally got ported to Switch.
And then
It came out
gotcha.
this year.
Right.
I still wouldn't count it because it's a fucking remake. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, City Skylines 2, Company Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4.
You should show the screen, by the way, Mav, if you can, to people so they see what we're looking at.
Pikmin 4 is in strategy.
Yeah.
Pikmin
Yeah,
is
you gotta-
a
strategy.
strategy game.
Yeah, it is.
you know how many
Don't
little
you
men
just
need to
walk
do stuff?
around, collect fucking Pikmin, and throw them at shit?
Yeah, it takes strategy.
I mean, there's some strategy to
That's
it.
strategy.
There's some strategy there.
When you say that,
Okay.
I mean,
And
then it's not,
checkers is like the chest of Pikmin, I guess, right?
no,
is that?
Pikmin has some strategy. It has some strategy because you have to
That's
like, there's like different,
They're different colors.
and they all do like different things. All the different color Pikmin,
Oh my god.
like the yellow. I
Oh,
haven't
Mav's
played in
gonna
years.
Expose his votes.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll go to this is the list. It's going to block us if I put it up here, but
It's whatever.
yeah. Previous best family. Okay. So best family game. Disney Illusion Island.
Okay.
That's made by Delilah, the people that made Battletoads. Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I went with Party Animals.
For best family, trying to find it.
Yeah. I
I'm so
voted. I
out of
voted.
order.
Y'all can see what I voted for here, too.
Why didn't Diablo 4?
We went with Party Animals as well.
For best family. Oh, here it
Me
is.
and my family loved playing Diablo 4. What the fuck?
I just want to give
Lilith.
Party Animals some love. I feel like the other games are gonna get. I feel like Super Mario Brothers Wonder is gonna run away with this shit.
I think they could go to
So-
Sonic here, just
Think
because
so?
they
Yeah.
want to show some love somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Sonic, but
How much is
I
Everborn
haven't
paying you?
played in. I played Party Animals. I haven't played the rest of these actually. So
Yeah. No big issues here. I mean,
no,
No, it's whatever list.
Nah.
yeah, whatever.
it's
Liz,
whatever.
yeah. Best fighting game. Okay. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl literally just fucking came out. And I feel like
Yeah.
it literally came out like 2 days ago or something. And the first one
Yeah.
was one of the worst
Isn't that
fucking brawler things I've ever played. I don't know how it's here. Is there just
Have
no
it-
other fighting games, so they like had to put 5?
I don't think there's any other fighting.
Well, they knew it
game
wasn't going to
that-
win
There-
anyway, so they just said fuck it and put a game up there.
Let me see when Undisputed came out on PC. I think it was February, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah,
that-
when does that boxing
Yeah,
game?
you
Does
could
that
put
count for
UFC,
this?
You could put UFC there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
But
could
wasn't
put
Undisputed, isn't that
another
early
wrestling
access?
game as well. Fucking
Oh,
Nickelodeon
right.
All-Star Brawl 2. So this is where the cultivated listening. You can't tell me this was like, oh
it
yeah,
came out
like that
last
100,
year.
120 people. They're gonna put like that over some of those other games.
What's the cutoff date if this just came out?
The cutoff date is next week, 3-bit.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which
It
does that
still
make
can
any
make
sense?
it 3-bit.
That's actually that doesn't make sense
Yeah, they
It
announced
still can make
to
it.
me.
they announced the nominees a week before the cutoff date ends.
So what's the point of the
It's
cutoff
bullshit.
date?
I don't
because they
know.
did that. because of-
What's the wait? What?
Forza
So that
Horizon
does that
5.
mean it could change?
That's why they changed it last year. So this way they can be like, look, this is the thing. We do take nominations up to a point when they fucking don't. Who's gonna go back in there?
That literally
and
makes it. So if
change?
you're saying like, "Oh, we already announced all of our stuff, but we have a cutoff date," we already announced all the things. You're not going to
Well,
change the
everybody
nominations,
submitted
are
their
you?
vote, so they already made up their minds.
Exactly. You're not going to change your vote.
Exactly.
What the heck is the point of a cutoff date that's in the future after you already said what the nominees are? Anyways,
Don't ask
I
questions.
digress.
You'll get banned.
Call of Duty should have been in best multiplayer.
True, but none of the critics would have done that because of the 4 out of 10 that they gave it. So yeah, you know.
Even though that a lot of the Call of Duty community is saying it's the best multiplayer since Black Ops 3.
3, yeah.
Unfortunately, the community
weird, man.
doesn't vote.
Yeah.
so weird.
They do, but they get 10% of the vote for Game of the Year. And I don't know how much of these I think we get 10% of the vote here also.
No, you get 0.
I guarantee
it's letting me
the
vote, so
community
it has to
vote
count for
changes
something.
none of these decisions.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh.
at most they'd see, oh wow, a lot
We
of
were
people
way
are
off.
picking something that we
Oh,
didn't
Starfield
like.
should have got Game of the Year. No,
It's
not.
it's basically a control to make sure that they get the least backlash possible. Then,
Yeah.
like
In a weird way, I
Just-
almost wish they had write-ins for certain categories.
We'll see if this answers any questions. I'm on their website. It says, how are nominees selected? It tells us.
Dartboard.
Dartboard. Nominees for most categories of the Game
we went by
Awards.
feels.
By feel. It says nominees for most categories of the Game Awards are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected for their history of critical video game evaluation. Specialized juries also convene for other categories, including esports, accessibility, and best adaptation. You need to get some better specialists out there if they don't know that coach didn't coach this year. Each voting outlet completes a confidential, unranked ballot based on the collective and diverse opinion of its editorial staff, listing out its top 5 choices in each category. Okay, so let me read this again. Each voting outlet completes a confidential, unranked ballot based on the collective and diverse opinion of its entire editorial staff, listing out its top 5 choices in each category. So, out of that deep, well thought out process, they picked Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2.
Also, if they only pick their top 5 choices, does that mean that they all chose the same game if there's only 5 choices for the categories?
I don't fucking know, man. It's like, okay, so it says nominees for most categories of the Game Awards are chosen by an international jury of over 100 global media and influencer outlets, selected for their history of critical video game evaluation.
So, okay.
And then it says each voting outlet completes a confidential, unranked ballot based on the collective and diverse opinion on its entire editorial staff, listing out its top. So, for example, that's in like IGN gets one ballot, right? And they get to pick between all of them their 5 nominees for each category. Is this what that's what it sounds like to me, right? Well, I guess they
Like, or who selects the nominees? Has to be Jeff, right?
No.
no.
If
I
you're
think-
like giving
I
these
think what
media
it's saying,
outlets,
it's like whoever has the most votes gets to be put in
Yeah.
the category. Like once they get all the ballots back, they look at those
Uh-huh.
and then okay, the top 5 games get the spot in the nominees based on like a
Yeah.
point system, probably. Like you know,
Do we think that each of these publications is actually like gathering the entire office around to be like, all right, you guys,
No, it's
we
one
gotta
dude that gets
Yeah,
emailed
just
and
one-
it's like, hey, this is your
Yeah.
assignment for the day.
Yeah,
Fill this out.
the editor, one of the editors gets to decide for the entire publication. There's no way that they're sitting there taking with like how tight things are these days and like how money
They're not
hungry all
doing it
these
fucking
publications
hands
are.
meetings.
Yeah,
We
there's
still-
no way they're taking an afternoon for this. Like they literally just give it like whoever's in charge is just like, I'm gonna fuck off and do this today. Or they're probably even too busy. You know what I mean? They just pick somebody.
But they also
Like-
this doesn't say they're not given a short list to pick from.
Yeah.
It's got to be a short list. Like that's the only
Right.
way you can keep something like this organized. Like there's no way I would do something like this and not have it be a curated list. But at the same time, like I don't know, it's also going to publications that they choose. So I mean, that's where you end up getting like some of the bias or whatever. But I guarantee you, there's some things that just get omitted because it's one person also curating the short list for each category as well.
Right. That's where I think the problem probably lies. I think there's probably is a short list, and I think whoever makes a short list needs to be reevaluated. But anyway, it says ballots are
Mav's like, how do I get that job?
I mean, is this what it tells? This is what it tells us here that there's no short list, but I don't understand. But it actually, no, I take it back. It doesn't say there's not a short list. It just says ballots are tabulated, and the 5 games that appear on the most ballots are put forth as nominees.
Yeah. I mean, the
So-
thing is, most people don't care how the cookies are made, you know? They just want to have
Right.
opinions afterwards. Like, I don't know.
It says in the event of a tie, 6 or more nominees will be announced in the category. So like I said earlier, if there's no short list, this is trying to tell us there's no short list here, right?
Mhm.
If there is no short list, then the games media is full of fucking morons.
I mean,
How
does that
can-
surprise you? Then?
How can you
I mean,
have-
most of the
how can you have those consensus enough
So
to
brave.
to get nominated there on some of these categories when they don't even fit in the fucking category? Like, what kind of
Mhm.
morons like, yeah, I really agree. You know, I really think it should be Baldur's Gate 3 and multiplayer game of the year instead of all these other multiplayer games.
Remember, there
what's-
was arguments for Horizon Forbidden West or even Horizon Zero Dawn being an RPG. Remember that?
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll
That
get, into,
answers
we'll
it
get into
all.
that in a little bit here.
It's like, do you level up your stats and equip different gear?
You can get different armor that have certain buffs, but it's not like you can directly change the gameplay style, just the damage type that you do.
Yeah, that's like an action game then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most, to be fair, most action games are going to have RPG elements just because of how modern game development is. Like, they're just going to have some RPG mechanics, but that doesn't make Spider-Man an RPG. You know,
You're-
it's still
but
an
you're playing the
action
role
game.
If
with
it gets
Spider-Man.
ratings, you're damn right it is.
It's like, goodness gracious. Let's put Spider-Man in the RPG section.
All of these awards categories are just Spider-Man and Baldur's Gate all the way down. That's all that I want to see. And Hi-Fi Rush was popular. That'll make the Xbox happy. Let's run it.
There we go. They got Hi-Fi Rush. Now shut up.
So I got to read this other one too. Okay, so it says, are voting outlets given free or advanced copies of games? At the start of the award season, game publishers and developers are provided with access to a list of outlets that will submit nomination ballots. While most of our voting outlets have access to games through the normal editorial process, publishers and developers are permitted to provide a review copy or digital redemption codes. To meet our balloting deadlines, publishers or developers may provide advance or pre-release access to games for critical evaluation. Okay, so the games that are not released yet can give them access to the game to be included to this, right?
They did that with Ragnarok last year.
They must have done that with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls too.
I wonder if this is a thing where like they ask for approval from the game like developer or publisher, like, hey, can we put your game in this list? So that's maybe why we don't see some of them, because some of the game devs don't respond back.
I don't know, maybe. And then here it says, what is the cutoff date for eligibility? Games eligible for the Game Awards this year must be available for public consumption on or before Friday, November 17th. Titles that are released after this date will be eligible for the Game Awards next year. Similarly, games that were released on or after November 18th are first eligible for this year. So I think in order to be have been considered, The cutoff date for release is November 17th, but the voting takes place ahead of time. So to be considered, they would have had to have received the review code early.
They get absolutely screwed. We've seen that already.
Yeah.
If a game comes out after that date, and if you're releasing your game from now to the 17th, you're ultra screwed.
Yeah. Danny,
Because the nominees have already been selected, and you're going to be screwed next year. So don't release your game from 13 to 17, I guess.
Unless you give an advance copy like 2 or 3 months in advance.
Danny Passion Official with the $2 says, the Game Awards isn't the only award for gaming. Why put it so high? It's by far the most watched. I agree. It doesn't hold a lot of credibility. And there's more prestigious gaming awards. But that's not the one those aren't going to be watched by millions and millions and millions of gamers. Right. And these award shows, because of the amount of people that watch it, is what the most casuals and the most.
It's also most entertaining award show.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones are really hard to watch.
Yeah, it is. And at the end of the day, like in the industry, the other ones are going to mean more to the industry aspect, but like public perception, right? And facing about, okay, like what games are good, what games. Some people are even trying to spread stuff like Xbox has a real problem because they didn't have a game nominated for Game of the Year this year. When are they going to get? When will they ever be able to get over this? Right? When it's really not their fault they didn't get a game nominated for Game of the Year. It's just happened to be who the panel was that selected the game.
They bought a Game of the Year. They bought Overwatch.
That's true. But you get my point, though. Like, people are trying to make it into something, right? Like a quality problem on Xbox right now, right? And it's because of public perception and the morons that feel that way. And that's why it's still important for there to be some credibility with this thing. And I don't understand how some of these games get put in some of these lists. But anyway, we'll move on.
Back to the list.
Best RPG.
All right, let's see. Best RPG.
I know what you're laughing at right now. Okay.
Lies of P? I mean, I played a little bit of Lies of P, but that's an RPG?
That's a stretch.
That's an RPG, Fuzz.
Lies
of P.
Why is
RPG.
Why would you say that?
It's right here. It says it.
Here's the nominees for Best RPG.
Where's Spider-Man 2?
Baldur's Gate 3, 100%. Hey, hands down, probably going to win this too. Final Fantasy 16. I got a little bit of issues with that one because they took all the RPG out of it.
They made it more of an action.
Yeah, it's still an RPG though, technically, I guess.
The name is sure. The game isn't. Like, it's an action game.
It's very action. It's very action
RPG now.
It's barely RPG.
Yeah. Lies of P, which no disrespect to Lies of P, like I know it's supposedly a great Souls type game, all that kind of stuff, right?
Bob.
We lost Bob, but that shit does not belong in this category. No. Like, there's several, and you can pick a bunch of other games. Like a lot of people pick Octopath Traveler 2, things like that.
Why do you say Lies of P shouldn't be in this category?
It's not an RPG.
I would say it has more RPG mechanics than like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with Final Fantasy 16.
I will not disagree. But...
yeah, I don't think Final Fantasy 16
because you like level up, you progress, you like get new gear and stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's more of an RPG than.
I mean, you do that in all Souls games, though. I mean, are like, is Demon Souls considered an RPG?
Yeah, they're like action RPGs.
I guess. I've never considered a Souls game RPG before.
I feel like the latest Final Fantasy is barely an RPG. Like, I don't know.
Steel, tell me, should Souls games be considered RPGs? Like, I just want to know. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. I never really thought of it that way. But I do agree that
all right,
between Final Fantasy 16 and Lies of P, like, yeah, Lies of P is probably more RPG than that is, but that's not saying much. Sea of Stars, no argument there whatsoever. And Starfield,
great game.
The lone nominee for Starfield in this Game Awards.
No music, no soundtrack stuff, nothing.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise for me.
That soundtrack is crazy good.
Well, it's not good enough.
According to them. According
I-
to this board that basically was bashing it.
Okay,
all
so
year.
I have to be honest, and I'm just going to say this. If Starfield was playable on a PlayStation, Starfield would have been nominated for more categories.
Probably.
Yeah, but it's not, so that's why it's here.
Oh, dude, if it was an exclusive to PlayStation, it would have gotten as many awards as Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, if it was exclusive, yeah, probably. But like with it being,
It would have gotten best multiplayer without any multiplayer.
if it if it was playable on a PlayStation, that the media people that either were forced to have to play this game on their PC or on Xbox. A lot of them probably played it on the Xbox. Like
If it was on PlayStation, it would have been nominated for best esport coach.
Probably.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I believe that if it was on, even if it was just on a PlayStation, like it would have been nominated for more awards.
PlayStation
Quite
released
possibly.
I
two-
just feel
two
like
games
it was
this
ignored
year.
by a lot of those guys, a lot of the media.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is like how many of these people even played it if they are heavily skewed towards like a PlayStation environment for sure.
Well, I'm glad Liza P got a nomination for the. I think
Yeah.
it got a couple.
I mean, it's not going to win
nominations,
anyway. Baldur's Gate's win that.
but- Yeah,
category,
Baldur's
so-
Gate.
Yeah.
hands down. I mean, the three RPGs in here for me are Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield, and Sea of Stars. And then there's some other games that were highly rated critical successes that were also more RPG than both of those, but they didn't get
Mhm.
nod. So it is what it is. Then we have Best Action Adventure. No surprises here. Like Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
No arguments.
Yeah, it's all right
Mhm.
list. I just again wouldn't count Resident Evil 4, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you don't like to count remakes at all for anything. right?
Well, I got a conspiracy theory on this. Resident Evil
Mhm.
4 has been put in as a viable candidate because there are more remakes coming to PlayStation. So if you want those to be considered, you have to warm people up by putting another remake up there in advance. So
Yeah,
next
get
year,
them-
when
get
there's
them
a
warmed up for
remake
next
of what is it, Last of Us 2 for PC,
Oh.
or Horizon Forbidden West for PC or something like that. Oh, it's a remake.
Yep.
Well, we're still
Alvin,
putting in the
Ho-
category.
Hogwarts
Hogwarts should have
in that
been
list.
here over Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Resident
definitely.
Evil, I would have taken out, put Hogwarts. Hogwarts definitely got snubbed this year. Like
Mhm.
that was an
Alright.
incredible game, amazing details, the story,
The
everything.
problem
I
is
loved.
they're just afraid to mention that game because of the backlash they would get.
Now,
Yeah,
that
this-
just
did-
goes to
we're on
show you
Game
their
of the Year, right?
mindset is wrong. Like
Did it get
Half-
nominated for anything?
no, nothing.
Yeah,
Hogwarts
that's-
got zero
Zero.
nominations.
That definitely seems that they're afraid to talk
Best
about
selling
it.
game this year.
Yeah.
But one of the best selling games is
gets
put that over
no
Resident Evil.
Nod is fucking ludicrous. It's insane. Fucking
Right.
insane. It should have taken Mario Wonder and Starfield over Resident Evil 4. That would have been a better game of the year list than what the fuck they have right now.
Yeah.
Not saying anything about Wonder, but it was not game of the year.
hmm
Oh, I'm joking.
Yeah, Hogwarts.
Don't forget to breathe,
Psycho
Psycho.
dying.
I gotta go to bed.
That was definitely a
Nintendo
snub on
police
their
are
part.
after him.
But that's just that mindset, Jasper. Like it
The
just
thing is,
shows
though,
you a lot of these categories. Like they're not doing it
They
for
know
a
that they
reason.
would get backlash, but also at the same time, the reviewers are the same ones that cause that backlash because they're the ones that agree with it. So they're not going to
Yeah.
fucking do it anyway.
But those are the people. That's my problem. Like they the ones that brought up the problem, and then they're like, oh, but the fans had a good time with it, but screw the fans. This is what I thought.
Yeah,
This is my initial.
I agree 3-bit. The panel system they have for voting, obviously is fucking broken. Like there's just like it's just like I don't know. You need to go pick 120 if that's what you want to do. Go pick 120 different outlets because those ones suck ass. Like these genres and categories don't make any damn sense. Like, you could ask like random gamer, like, should this be in consideration for best multiplayer game? Like, no. Like, but like somehow a consensus between 120 fucking games media does, and then they like leave out the biggest game of the year.
I
Like,
bet you if you went to ask a lot of people, that people would be like, Baldur's Gate is multiplayer?
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it has multiplayer, but like, and in this one, like, I get it. This comes down to, okay, do you see that Resident Evil 4 as a remake or a Dead Space as a remake or whatever could be nominated for anything, right? I've been in the argument that yes, they can be. However, this year there's so many other games that are like either new games or like big
Probably the
games,
best year
like,
for games.
yeah, this wouldn't be the
maybe ever.
There's too many other better options, right? And this is obviously a media problem too, because the Golden Joystick Awards, I don't know who votes all on that, but somehow that Resident Evil 4 remake got picked for best PlayStation game at the Golden Joysticks. So like, I don't understand like this kind
There's a
of
disconnect.
I don't get it, man. Like,
PlayStation had 2 games this year. MLB The Show, which is, and then Spider-Man 2. And somehow, with only releasing 2 games, they still got more nominations than half of the games that Xbox released this year. So it is what it is. They're gonna do that even next year if they release Last of Us 2 again. That's gonna get more nominations. If Xbox released Hellblade 2, if they release all these other games, it still will get more nominations because the media is very heavily in PlayStation. I mean, we look at all the articles that's been released this year that's tried to generate clicks on Starfield. Like, it got them so many clicks, they just kept re-releasing. IGN kept re-releasing articles on Starfield saying like, oh, Starfield's trash, terrible. But they kept talking about it because they know that a lot of people do like Starfield. But it doesn't, that their view of Xbox is different from the majority of their audience, and that's proven if you look at IGN US's review, and then you look at everywhere else of Starfield, like Japan, every other place in IGN rated that game high. And you get other publications like Metro UK, where they had a ton of other articles saying like, look at this game. This game does things better. They had an article on Star Wars Outlaw, how much better it was than Starfield. It's not even out yet. Just stuff like that. And guess what? They are voting in the Game Awards. Everything I'm saying, like the Metro UK, they are the ones voting for these nominees. So you basically string that along with 120 people who have this sort of like, oh, I love my PlayStation. Oh man, I have to play Starfield. I have to go on my Xbox. It's like this sort of have to mentality. Like, oh man, because PlayStation is sort of the base for a lot of these people, and Nintendo is sort of the base for a lot of these people, and that's the way I genuinely feel. With a lot of these publications of how they see, of where they see Xbox in the gaming space as almost an annoyance. Like, oh man, I gotta play Xbox just to play Starfield. Like, even the articles on Elder Scrolls, like, oh man, I guess I gotta get a PC to play Elder Scrolls. It's just like this have to mentality with a lot of media publications, and I feel like it's felt throughout a lot of these categories. Like, it really is.
What you're talking about is the Xbox tax.
That is the Xbox tax that we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's the Xbox tax,
man.
Anyway, Danny Passion Official with the $2 super chat says Resident Evil 4 is a better choice than Red Dead remake. You mean Dead Space remake? I would probably agree with that. I didn't play either yet, but sure. Danny Passion Official also with the 5 says, do you think that having a remake nominated as Game of the Year would motivate other developers not to be lazy when it comes to remake? Lies of P is an RPG. Fair enough. If you guys think Lies of P is an RPG, then Lies of P is an RPG. But do I think them? I personally, I personally myself don't have an issue if a game is completely remade, built from the ground up, with a game being nominated for stuff. But however, this year there's a lot of other games that could have been put in over.
We've had this conversation before. Yeah. I've said that I think any game should be valid, and I'm gonna stick with that. Any game should be valid for a category like Game of the Year, but this year in particular, being 2023, one of the best years of gaming, I just find it's weird that it's in the category out of all the games that came out this year. That's my view on it. Like yes, I think if you remake a game, whatever, and it's good, whatever, I think any game should be valid for Game of the Year. But this year in particular is weird. It's just too many other games that has come out this year. That's just, it's a weird, it's a weird thing.
So Jesse P in the chat said Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 is actually reviewing really high. IGN gave it a 9. Did they really give that a 9? Now I haven't played it. I played the first one. It was one of the worst fucking games I've ever touched in my entire life, and it was a complete broken mess, and it was unplayable. Maybe it got better later. Maybe the second one's a lot better. But I did just double check, and the game literally just came out like a couple days ago. But yeah, it's sitting at like a 73 on 12 reviews, 50 from Screen Rant, 65 from Nexus, 70 from GameSpot. Like, I wouldn't say it's highly rated. IGN gave it a high score. So, but I don't really trust.
Got a sponge up their ass.
Yeah, I don't really trust their review. Anyway, Danny Passion Official says the question is if it would motivate other devs. I think ultimately money motivates other devs, and it depends on how well those games sell. And though I think the fact that Dead Space Remake and Resident Evil 4 Remake both sold well should hopefully motivate other developers to make good and put more effort into their remakes.
Yeah. Because we all know how the whole what do you call it, GTA trilogy went.
Yeah. I think other games I think other games like Starfield should get in over something like a Resident Evil 4 remake. Like hands down. I would say Hogwarts Legacy as well. Like
how Resident
Diablo
Evil 4 was remade, was released 3 times in the last 10 years, and then here's a new IP in 25 years, doesn't get it, gets beat by Resident. That's why Resident Evil 4 to me should not have been in this
and we'll get to that. We'll get to that category. We got several more to get through because there's way too many fucking categories. Best action game. What's the difference between best action game and action adventure game?
This one has Armored Core 6, and that's the one that should win. That's the difference.
This one has Remnant 2, which that's going to
Nope, I don't. Nope. Armored Core 6 better win, or else I'm going to riot.
Hi-Fi Rush. Wait, what is the difference between action and action adventure? Because
does action adventure mean more like...
Is action adventure a category?
Action adventure, I'd look at it as there's action and a story. Action just means there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, not necessarily a story. But that's
kind of like in the background. Sense. But Dead Island kind of had
it has a story. Like all of these have a story to them, but I guess that's not as much the focus as it is the action.
I'm here for the action part, not so big on adventuring.
Yeah, I guess I see the games that are in this category are generally more just gameplay oriented, not really focused on too much story. So in this category is Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and then Remnant 2.
That's a pretty good.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with any of this list.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For action games, we got best VR AR. I don't give a shit. I'm not even going to read this list. I
GT7
really could care less. Best mobile game. I could care less about this shit too. Um,
I kind of want to see what they put in there. Actually,
you want to see what they
That's
put?
Hey,
what
it's got Honkai Star Rail in there. That's a big deal.
Yeah, Honkai Star Rail's probably gonna win.
Oh,
this.
I take
It's
it back.
got
I don't know any
Final
of these.
Fantasy
games.
VII, Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I almost voted for
Oh
that.
wait,
just as a
Hello
joke.
Kitty.
Yeah.
That would be a
Honkai
funny to
Star
win, actually.
Rail.
You mean the new Warcraft Rumble didn't make it? That's weird.
No.
No.
Biased.
Xbox tax.
It probably technically came out after the cutoff time, I think.
Well, they weren't sent a pre-review code.
Oh wait, no, the 17th the cutoff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking. So freaking weird.
Monster Hunter Now and Terra Nil. Never heard of Terra Nil.
Yeah.
It's on a Netflix game, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways,
Small
yeah,
games.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I take
Okay.
it back. I shouldn't have said that.
So, best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Vinba, and Viewfinder.
For which
Why
category?
does
Best
Pizza Tower look like a
debut
game
indie
made in
game.
fucking Microsoft Paint?
Oh,
Oh,
so best debut indie game means it's their first game, I think. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can respect that category. Right. Indie to the extreme. You know.
Cocoon is not an indie game.
What the fuck is it then?
It's published by
It's indie.
Annapurna. Yeah, it's an indie publisher.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like Annapurna.
Yeah, Annapurna, it publishes games from indie developers.
But okay. I don't think it is.
No,
Yeah,
I thought
it is,
the person that
100%.
made Cocoon
Really?
made
Yeah.
something else. Like I could have sworn. Well, I guess they were from another studio that made a different game. Like I thought it was from.
They
the same
they
people that
made the
Inside.
people who made Cocoon made like Limbo and
Yeah,
Inside and stuff.
but it's
Oh,
a new,
yeah.
it's a new studio.
But it's a new
Or-
studio.
It was like the
Okay.
And that's
person
their
that
new studio.
created them
Yeah.
that left that studio.
So
yeah.
The name of the studio is Geometric Interactive.
Mhm.
It's their debut indie game. Annapurna is the
Okay.
publisher who publishes
Gotcha.
indie games, right?
Okay.
Just like Devolver Digital, right? They make indie games,
Mhm.
you know.
All right. Well, I take
Mhm.
it back.
Yeah, you will take it back.
You better take it back, bud.
Yeah, like I said, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Vinba, and Viewfinder. Then we have Best Independent Game. Now, this one has stummed up a lot of controversy online because indie developers and some people in the industry are like, we don't know what fucking indie game is anymore because Dave the Diver was nominated here, and it's made their own.
Oh, that was the game I was
They're
thinking of.
owned by was it Nacon or Nexon, one of the two. So they're owned by a big publisher, like, and they develop the game, right? So people are like, "What is a fucking indie game now?" Right?
I mean,
Like,
almost at that point, you might as well put Hi-Fi Rush up there because of Tango.
right.
Despite who
that's
owns-
what people are
Xbox
saying,
tax.
you know. And like, people are saying, well, like Pentiment could have been included for this last year, then you know what I mean, or something
Right.
like that. But it's not.
Bingo.
So because it's not an indie game, right? But like, so anyway, I don't personally.
That's weird
care.
because like up until this point, everyone was saying David Diver was a fucking indie game. This entire year, everyone was saying it was a fucking indie game
yeah,
until
but
this
all
fucking
over
got
Twitter
nominated.
today, everybody's saying it's not an indie game. I think
It's indie until it's indie, or until it's
I
not.
think what it's perceived as an indie style game, right? Made by a smaller team, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it says Dave the
So-
Diver was developed by Mint Rocket, a subsidiary of Nexon, a South Korean
Nex-
company based in Japan, valued at 274.5 billion yen, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So that's where it's like, can any big publisher now just have a small team make a game and be an indie game? So that's what the people. But I get what you're saying, Jasper. We were all thinking it was an indie game, but like I found out today, it's not technically an indie game. So, the other games on this list are Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
Yeah, I was actually mixing up in my head Dave the Diver and Cocoon. Dave the Diver is not the indie game.
Yeah, so yeah, Dave the Diver has had some controversy spread, and this is from industry people saying this stuff. Too.
Well, they fucking made this list, so what the fuck do they know?
Oh, the media made this list, right? Obviously, the media doesn't know anything, right? That's what we're getting across here.
The lamestream gaming meeting.
The lamestream gaming.
It's fake gaming news.
All right, so next best. Okay, so this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
This one had to be done.
Oh yeah, this one.
Best community support. So this is supposed to be the tight-knit relationship between the developers and the community.
To
doing
me,
the
this is
best
like the
job
worst.
by their community.
One of the worst lists.
This is a shit show. This is just them picking random shit because like I've heard of this one.
Man, it'd be great if Destiny wins because they basically
hope it
fired all
does.
their community
hope it
support
does.
people, right? Like literally, I couldn't find the video that I wanted to find, but I swear I saw something where there was like a Destiny dev like talking about how they don't put more effort into their games because their community will still
Yeah.
buy it. But I couldn't find the reference to it. And then like turns out like this past month they just fired everybody because it didn't meet
Not to mention
projections.
The Destiny community's been bitching the entire year about the game. Like,
This has been
Yeah,
the
yeah,
worst year ever for
the
the
best
Destiny community. Out of the entire history of
What is
Destiny.
It's hilarious.
What is this
that this
best
is
at
on there.
ignoring what your community actually wants award?
Yeah.
Like I haven't
almost say
played Destiny for
Battlefield
years
needs
because
to
I don't
have-
need a third job, dude.
And there's so many great ongoing games like that have big communities that they've done so
Yeah,
amazing.
Sea of Thieves, Warframe,
Mm-hmm.
goodness sake, Halo, like
With Halo would have been a good one. Xbox tax, there we go.
Well, I
That's
mean,
like-
we're really
talking
we're
about
really
Xbox
getting
tax.
them, you guys.
no, for real though, like
No,
Halo Infinite's had
Forza
a-
Horizon 5 should
Yeah.
be on there.
Right.
like
I
all
will
those
say,
are
like,
better than freaking Destiny.
I will say this: like 343 has been really in touch with the community this year. They've been doing a lot of updates. They've been really forward facing, and they've gotten a lot of things going in the right direction, and had a really huge turnaround year based on community support, right, and development support.
or even like
For the
put
game.
fucking World of Warcraft up there. You just saw that they had their BlizzCon and they announced everything that the fucking community's been asking for.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Xbox tax.
Xbox tax.
Or you could say grounded.
Even yes,
Xbox
even
tax.
Grounded, like Sea of Thieves, like these are games that have millions of players that constantly goes on the Steam charts, and they just put Destiny 2.
How about
Xbox.
And how? Hold on, Final Fantasy as a best community support game. I'm gonna need someone to explain
has-
that to me. Besides the
How long-
DLC,
That's
Is that hasn't
Final
that didn't
Fantasy
that game just
14.
come out this year? Like
That's 14. That's not
It's
the new
been
one.
out. Yeah.
Oh,
It's been
okay.
out for a while. It's just coming to Xbox some point this year, I think.
so? I mean, you could even say like, okay, like you were talking earlier about Counter-Strike, that could be there
Yeah.
too, right? Like
Mhm.
there's so many big games, but like Destiny fucking 2 in their worst year ever with their community. The community is in fucking stitches right now over this game. They have abandoned ship. They have left because of all the shit going on because of Bungie. And you're going to
Best
nominate
community.
them for community support?
I think even Division 2 would be better. Just because of the rumblings of Division 3 being a possibility, I think that community is more in touch with the developers
Yeah.
than Destiny is this year.
And does No Man's Sky get nominated for something every fucking year? Like, I
Yeah.
really
Yeah, why not?
feel like it does. Cyberpunk 2077. I will say it's kind of a weird one for a game
Yeah,
that's
it's a
not
weird-
really built
It's
around
always
that
nerdy.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's like there's a community there, right? It's a big community, but it's a single player game. You know what I mean? It's not really an ongoing thing where you're constantly doing like all these things to. It's like you give a big patch occasionally and give an expansion. Like
They
that's-
fixed
Yeah, the fact that
game.
Minecraft is not on here, also, yeah.
I agree they fixed the game, but that shouldn't have launched that way in the fucking first place. Like
That's
that,
what I'm saying.
Uh.
The only reason why they're in touch with the community is because they fucking botched the release. So they're like, please don't fucking abandon this game. By the way, I love Cyberpunk 2077, but this should not have been in here. Just hands down. It's not a fucking game to be getting a nod.
it's so
Yeah.
it's so
Again,
weird.
this just shows the out of touch reality that the VGA, the 120 panels, or where the fuck whoever is behind the fucking mask, whoever's doing this, these guys have zero clue. They just like, oh, it's just kind of like picking when you're voting on November 2nd. Hey, oh look, Democrat, Republican, Democrat. You're just gonna pick whatever party you're on. So they're gonna be like, oh, I know this person, so I know the studio. I'm picking this. I have no idea, but I know it. So best community. That's all. Sorry.
If you read the awards that they have under there, it says recognizing a game's outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive and social media activity, and game updates and patches. Like,
Yeah, that's
Nate-
not Halo.
But the
Xbox is like the
community-
most open fucking
Yeah.
community there ever is. And it's like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's not one Xbox game on here, right? That's I mean, literally, you could pick like 5 service games that Xbox has, and now especially if you include the Blizzard side as well, right? But or even the Call of Duty side, like for whatever it's worth. But like you look at this now, and it's like the list makes no fucking sense, man. That's what we're talking about. Who's picking these games for these categories? What's in their brain? I don't understand. I don't get it. Doesn't make any damn sense.
Because Sony's playing
this-
for the marketing.
When they were voting on this, all this shit was going on with Bungie.
Mhm.
So they were in their mind like, wow, Bungie just fired 100 people.
Bungie really needs to
Let's
win
put
right
them
now.
on
Like,
best
I-
community support.
Best community support. They don't have a community support team anymore.
Yeah, they're
Their
fired.
community support team is gone.
I don't
They
understand.
have-
It's so strange. Anyway, okay, moving on. Best ongoing. Oh fuck me, it just gets worse. Okay.
It's ongoing.
Some of the I don't have any issues with Apex Legends. Final Fantasy 14, no issues. Fortnite, no issues there. Genshin Impact, I don't even have any issues there. But you gonna put Cyberpunk 2077 in the fucking ongoing category because it released an expansion?
I mean, I kind of get it because it overhauled the entire game. So like, I kind of get it, but it's still like I wouldn't put it in this category.
Over
but,
other
like,
games, I don't know.
Did Halo get nominated?
No,
Halo didn't get category.
Not for anything, I
nominated
don't
for
think.
no.
No.
It didn't get
Yeah.
nominated the year it came out for anything either. Or actually, because it missed the cutoff date, and then the next year it didn't get nominated for anything. And so then now again, it didn't get nominated for anything. Even like ongoing game, that's like a
It's literally what it is.
awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
Yes, I mean that kind of meets.
At one big expansion
mean,
and patches, I
Well,
guess
It redid the entire game. All the mechanics changed. Like,
Yeah, but
all
you
the,
had
the
to
skills
buy
and
it.
stuff. Like,
I would I would
I
say
guess.
for like the multiplayer though, and like what people are doing with Forge mode and everything, like the game has completely changed from when it first came out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's like 100
yeah,
games you could
I
play here.
would put it in this
AI
list, but like I get why they do. Like that's
Right.
all I'm saying.
Hmm
Yeah.
I don't fucking understand it.
I'm surprised like Grounded didn't make anything either. Like Grounded
Here's
has
the
a
thing,
pretty good case.
I can look at Apex, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. Yeah, huge communities, ongoing stuff, like really engaged.
Mhm.
Yeah, no issues there. Like I'm not gonna, but like there's so many games that are like ongoing games over Cyberpunk. That's just not really fit in the category to me, like at
Yeah.
all. Like I
One of
agree.
these kids is doing his own thing. These kids just isn't the same. Yeah. Just an odd mix, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's games that get updates and patches and expansions all the time. Every fucking game fits in that category in that case.
Yeah, but it's not a game that expansion comes out that changes the entire fucking game overnight.
Fair.
You know
But
what?
it
Then I
takes
say
several-
Diablo 4 is a better match than
It-
Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
is
I
for
would
me.
put Diablo 4 on that list over Cyberpunk, but
Well,
I'm just
yeah. It's how many years did it take him though? Like between Cyberpunk's release and this year,
what was it like? What 20?
4 years, 3 years, 4 years, right?
Yeah.
3 years probably. I think it came out in
Yeah.
2020. Okay, so like
Yeah, 2020.
it's not really ongoing. 3 years later, you get a massive content thing and expansion. Like this is like ongoing games like frequent, constant updates and stuff.
Well, they had frequent constant updates. They were just smaller.
Patches.
They lit up to 2.0.
Yeah.
Isn't an expansion an ongoing game? If
It's
I
still in
add a
development.
DLC
I mean,
to, I mean,
It's
I
still in
guess,
development,
but
still adding content. It's ongoing. Like, I don't know.
I'm maybe I just consider ongoing more. I don't know. Maybe I just have a
I
different
mean,
definition.
in that
of-
regard, we could say
of-
Skyrim Anniversary is an ongoing game candidate.
Like, yeah, if I release a new
You know,
skin for Skyrim, I put a new horse, a golden
And,
horse
I mean,
in there.
I would
It's
actually-
ongoing.
yeah, I would actually put Skyrim actually more as an ongoing game than Cyberpunk because they actually have mod support and all that shit too, and like release all that kind of stuff.
For example, Batman Arkham Knight just released the Batman skin from the movie, the Robert Pattinson. Is that an ongoing game because they just added a skin in there? It's ongoing. They added something new. It's on. Does that fit the category of ongoing?
I get Jasper's point because they put a lot of work into this, right? But
I know.
It's-
I'm
it's
just
just
like
like-
for the sake
it's-
of argument.
it's more of one big massive update 3 years
Yeah.
later. That's not like necessarily an ongoing thing for me. You know, that's like I think games a service. And
Yeah,
shit
that's what
like
I
that.
think too. I think Cyberpunk this year is because they did put so much into it that it gets that bump, and that's why it's in here.
Yeah.
Got you. And I'm saying, and I'm saying this as someone who like Cyberpunk was my game of the year. Like, you know, it's just weird to me that it's in this category when you consider, again, you consider
you
all
would say
the other
this
games.
year that it's your game of the year?
No, whatever
Oh, okay.
year first came
The
out.
year
Not
it came
this
out.
year.
Okay, I was gonna say
No, this year's
because I think people might argue that with like the expansion and everything, but yeah,
No,
sorry,
not this
Just
year. Whatever year it came out. Was that
2020,
2020?
2021.
2021. That was my game of the year.
It was on the Xbox One X, so had to
It
be
was on
before
both.
20.
It was on.
Yeah,
It
but-
launched on both at the same time. So it's
Oh
2020.
yeah, you're right. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It was 20. It was launch year, I think. Right. It was like one of the first big games that came out. Games for
Yeah.
Impact. I'm not gonna argue with any of these whatsoever.
Yeah,
like
whatever
cool.
list. I don't fucking care.
Props to the developers on doing that
It's
stuff.
the artsy fartsy bullshit that.
Innovation and accessibility. Diablo 4, Forza, like Hi-Fi. Xbox always has lots in this area. You know.
I went with Forza because you can
Have a blind
be
person drive a
completely-
fucking car.
yeah, exactly. You can
Yeah.
completely lose your sight and still be able to play the game.
Yeah.
Is it because of the? What did they add?
They have like feeling. on the
They changed the
controller and
audio
stuff.
cues as well as the vibrations in the controller and things like that.
Oh, wow.
So you get
Okay.
audio cues between the cars around you going off track, rumble strips and track limits and things. So
I wonder what
think that's-
Spider-Man added, or what did
I
Hi-Fi
heard-
Rush
yeah,
more?
Spider-Man added. It came out on PlayStation, so that's why.
Like I can't remember.
heard people talk
PlayStation
about
has been
it.
pretty
Yeah.
good with their stuff
Yeah, I
as
know.
far as but
Yeah,
So-
I'll check. I mean,
The categories
I don't know.
Diablo 4, Forza, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter 6.
I think they added some. What was it like visual options so you could like see better in Spider-Man if you had like vision
I think
stuff.
stuff
I,
like
I think
that.
that's what it was.
maybe.
All right, so best performance. We got the guy who played Asterion in Baldur's Gate 3, Neil Newborn, Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man, Ben Starr as Final Fantasy 16. You got Cameron Monaghan and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba for Cyberpunk, Melanie Liberd for Alan Wake 2.
Who'd you guys vote for?
I voted for Idris because Idris is a badass.
Yeah, that's what I voted.
I think that you should have probably taken off the Final Fantasy dude and the fucking Spider-Man dude and put two more Baldur's Gate characters up there, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
Mhm,
all
mhm.
the Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate stuff's great.
Yeah,
It's Baldur's
Voice
Gate all the
actors
way
at
down.
Baldur's Gate was freaking.
Yeah, you
I
could have
think
had the fucking like whole party for Baldur's
Oh,
Gate
yeah,
there, and that would have been yeah.
surprised no Starfield characters.
Yeah. That
They
is
have
surprise me.
they have dead eyes and their soulless expressions. They don't count.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, I would agree with that, but like, man, they piss me off too much, Jasper. Like,
What?
the fucking Starfield companions. They
Oh,
start
yeah.
second guessing
Make
me
us
and criticizing me and shit. Like,
I noticed you killed 10 people.
Fucking
Sam
Sarah
Coe
constantly
is
giving
usually
you
like
fucking
the most
glue. It's like, I
level-headed
don't want
one
the
that
fucking
you can
glue,
work with.
Sarah.
who if you could pick one Starfield person to get nominated, who would it have been?
It would have been a toss-up between
Sarah?
Sam, well, for me, Sam or Barrett.
Sam was good. Yeah, Sam was actually.
I really liked Barrett.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, the hell with Sarah. It's like
I think
she's fine
she
until
did
you
good,
marry
though.
her, and then she like goes schizo
Yeah,
on you.
that's tough because like with the Starfield thing, I'm just like trying to compare that to like a Baldur's Gate, and I don't. There's just no weight. I think it's just so
yeah.
weighted in Baldur's Gate's favor that it's hard to put a Starfield character up there.
Yeah, I'm just
like,
saying if Baldur's Gate didn't
Yeah.
exist, like who did the best job of
think-
voice acting in Starfield? Like,
Andreja was pretty solid too.
True. Yeah.
Kate says
Uh,
Sam.
Or wait, who is
Yeah.
the mining lady? At the very beginning, your boss.
Is it Lee?
I forgot her name.
She was pretty impactful. I'd
the
say.
annoying fan.
Yeah, the
Oh,
annoying
yeah.
fan
Let
is
me don't
good.
think it's on. Gosh, I should have never recruited him. That was a mistake.
I think Andreja's character is most interesting because of her backstory and the kind of character
Yeah.
she plays. Like, she's like got the craziest background.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And it plays into the story really well, right? Sarah was like more of like, oh, I'm like super happy right now. Then I'm super like mean, like and angry all of a sudden. It's like too like bipolar, like with the like super happy or super angry.
I'm
right?
putting fucking Vasco up there.
Yeah, Basco is solid.
But I would maybe say Sam as well, like the
Yeah.
voice acting, like
Yeah,
the character.
I like Sam.
He did really good job.
That was the same voice actor as Deus Ex, right?
Yeah. But
Sam.
Whoa, what was that?
What
Oh,
the?
Vasco got in here somehow.
That sounds almost like Vasco.
Yeah.
This one sounds more like Claptrap, honestly.
When I scream into it.
Vasco would have been is pretty cool. But I also do think
Yeah.
Barrett did a good job because he's kind of like sarcastic and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
pretty good. Pretty good
best
list.
audio design.
Remake Central up in here.
I don't know how the fuck Diablo's not on that list because Diablo's the only game I've experienced where it sounds like there's a fucking thunderstorm outside my house and I have to take off my headphones every fucking time I play that game. It's like
Diablo audio is off the charts, badass, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't played some
Diablo
of
should
these
be on
games,
there.
so I don't know how amazing their audio is. Like Alan Wake 2.
Dead Space is freaking
Dead Space
crazy.
audio, from what I hear, was pretty damn good.
Like when you go in
Alan
outer
Wake
space.
also heard it was pretty damn good. For me, Hi-Fi Rush, the soundtrack, more so than the audio design.
I think they're doing the audio design here because of how the gameplay interacts with it.
yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
understand how Spider-Man's on this list. Like, I did
because it's a
not like the
PlayStation game.
audio.
Spider-Man 2 is on this. These are like the
Audio
are like
was
the
not that
games
great.
that's like.
Do you
why
not hear
are
that
they there?
thwip when he shoots his web? Thwip, thwip, thwip. That's amazing design, bro.
It's
And
not
then-
that good.
And Resident Evil 4 remake as well. Like I'm sure it's got some good audio and stuff.
But it's just crazy when you think of best audio. Like, I played Spider-Man 2, and let's say I'm thinking of these categories. I'm not going to think of Spider-Man 2 as like, oh yeah, that's a best audio for sure. Like,
didn't it
I
sound
think
like
of,
New York
like, Dead
with the
Space, that makes sense.
taxicabs
Alan
and the
Wake.
streets and stuff?
I
No.
mean, and let's just be real. Like
Maybe that's just me.
Call
But
of
like,
Call of Duty could even like be in this category over a lot of these games.
I would
How
understand.
dare
giving
you
Call
talk
of
about
Duty.
a 4 in this category?
I'm just saying, like, like audio when it comes to audio and gunplay and the guns and that sound design and stuff, like Call of Duty is always next
Yeah.
level, bro. Like it just is.
Hmm.
So, but
Xbox.
I would choose Dead
type, man.
Space for that one or Hi-Fi.
I'm gonna pick Diablo, even though it's not on that list.
Diablo would have gotten my vote 100% for this.
But from what's here, what would you choose?
Hi-Fi Rush, because it interacted with the gameplay. Like it's so there's
Yeah.
actually a lot trickier for the audio design, I feel like, than these other games.
That should be a separate category.
What rhythm based games?
Audio design and maybe
Interactive music.
Well, their music is a
Or
separate
is it?
category. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So this is more of like the sound effects and the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff.
That's score music.
you know?
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
So I feel like Hi-Fi Rush has a chance in this one.
Yeah. I still think Starfield should have been up there.
I
Definitely
think
Diablo
Dead
4.
Space is probably gonna take that, or Alan Wake for the audio design.
Just because of the atmospheric aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree this would have been a good one for Starfield to get in over one of these other ones too, because the audio design in Starfield is pretty fucking amazing. Those ships, man, when they're taking off and they like and zooming through the sky and stuff, and it's like, and that's not even counting the music, but like the atmosphere of the sounds of the planets, like the audio in that game is really incredible. All the way through.
there should be no audio because you're in space the whole time and there's no sound.
Hey, you're on a lot of planets with atmospheres. All right. Okay. Best score and music.
Another one that Starfield should have been.
This is the biggest snub. This is maybe the biggest snub for Starfield for me. Like I didn't anticipate it getting nominated for Game of the Year just because I know the media bias and all that kind of stuff, right? I think it should have, but out of all the categories, like that Starfield soundtrack is like a generational type music soundtrack. It's a classic, right? And
Yeah. Did they have the orchestra play at where was that? They had like the Starfield music.
he's done a couple
composer.
different. He's done a couple different ones. A couple different videos, but yeah, they've had the actual. Enon Zur has done like a couple of like concert things. I think one of the London Symphony or something like that.
It's so surprising to me because Jeff Keighley literally had Eon Zur come out for the fucking Gamescom and do a fucking opening ceremony with the Starfield theme. It's like,
but this isn't on Keighley. It's because the games media doesn't give a shit about Starfield. They just completely ignore it. That's the whole thing. Like the only category got nominated for was the one that you couldn't get away with not including it because it's fucking most RPG ass game there is this year. Like besides Baldur's Gate 3, those two, you know what I mean? But the best score in music, Alan Wake 2, composer Petri Alenko.
Good stuff about it.
Baldur's Gate 3 composer Borislav Slavov. I think Baldur's Gate 3 has an awesome composition, but I would definitely put Starfield over that. Final Fantasy 16 composer Masayoshi Soken. I've heard people say great things about it. That may be the shining light of Final Fantasy 16. I don't know. Hi-Fi Rush audio director Shuichi Kobori. And then Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom composed by Nintendo Sound Team.
Yeah, you know it's good when
the six participants, but
yeah, why isn't there 6 here? There should be. I guess they said there's 5 unless there's a tie.
I think a lot of them have 5 in them. But you know that the score is good when it was produced by a sound team.
Right, and not a composer.
Sound team.
Yeah.
Also, like Zelda's sound design has changed so much over the years. It's the same fucking like melody. They just remix it for every game.
Yeah, the trailer song did slap pretty hard though, but that was about it.
I mean, that's the biggest travesty for the snubs of Starfield. Like for me,
yeah,
I would literally put it over every single one of these games. I've heard enough music from them to know like it's just there's no comparison. Like there's really not. Like honestly, in this, like the fact that it wasn't even included as a nominee is just absolutely baffling.
I would honestly put Diablo on this list too. Like Diablo has amazing music.
I agree with that.
Xbox tax. Xbox can only have one, if they have any. Just one.
Just one.
All right, so we're on to best art direction. Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Wonder, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I would probably go for Alan. Maybe it's between Alan and Hi-Fi for me.
Super Mario Wonders, really? I mean, it looks like every other fucking Mario game that's that's existed the last 10 years, you know?
And Tears of the Kingdom looks like Breath of the Wild, so.
I would say Alan Wake 2, cool. Hi-Fi Rush, cool. Lies of P, for sure. I would put a nod out there for Remnant 2.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm surprised Spider-Man's not in there.
It looks like Spider-Man 1.
People didn't like the Adidas
like they wanted to.
tracksuit costume.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe they added an Adidas tracksuit.
Diablo 4 should be in here. I would put Remnant 2 and Diablo 4 in this category over Super Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why
I like
Alan,
that list.
Hi-Fi, Lies are in here. And they have two. I guess they got to add 2 Nintendo games, I guess.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. Like, I mean, that's to me, that's the same thing as like Super Mario Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, they look like those games. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean?
See, I'm surprised the gaming media didn't pick Starfield for the fact that they probably played it on PC.
Yeah. Our direction for Starfield's really impressive too, but I feel like some of the muted colors they had because they had some issues with some of the
green haze.
They had, and they've released updates just now for some of this stuff to make it better, but like there was too muddy in the midtones and stuff, and I feel like that kind of messed with some of the visual. I didn't have to deal with that because I had some tricks.
But I think with like art direction, it's even more than just like colors. Like with art direction, the reason Starfield should have had it because it took that sci-fi like 60s like style and kind of amplified that.
You're right. They created a whole new identity of a genre, right? They created a new term. You know, like it's really its own style. There's never been anything like that before. So that's a good point. Was it maybe Space Odyssey is kind of like that? 2001 Space Odyssey is kind of
I mean, there's been space. I mean, aliens. That's kind of the whole thing. Too.
I mean,
so there's been stuff that's done
it would differentiate this list a bit. I mean, you got 2 Nintendo games that have sort of not very similar art styles, but it's there. And then Lies of P, which is more gothic. I know. I would say Lies is more gothic like, so I understand why that's on there. Hi-Fi Rush is pretty different. You got the cartoony style and it's very vibrant and beautiful. And Alan Wake, I even understand why that's on there with the flashes they do and like the horror aspect. So if I was them, I would I would keep one Nintendo game. I think it's vibrant and beautiful, Tears of the Kingdom, and then maybe get rid of Wonder and then put in Starfield.
I would go the opposite.
Yeah, I would honestly get rid of Mario and Zelda and put Pikmin up there.
Oh yeah, Pikmin's pretty nice too.
I would also put Baldur's Gate 3 over both of those games too. To be honest with you.
Yep.
So
for best art direction.
Yeah. Character look.
Yeah.
I mean, they
costumes,
had everything, all the detail stuff they had to do in that game. Like the characters are so freaking detailed, dude. Like you go into that camp and like you like get in the conversation, you really like kind of look at the characters. I mean, and they also have genitalia, which is another thing, right?
Yeah, they did.
They had to do
here.
I mean,
I would understand even if Cyberpunk was in here. I would understand. This is like a category where it can kind of go different ways.
Cyberpunk didn't come out this year, so
the DLC did.
Yeah, but that's why it's in the
ongoing
category.
Okay, but you're gonna add RE4 for Game of the Year, where it's like the rules. Like where do you?
And then the DLC had Idra for what do you call him for
Idris
actor?
Elba.
So
yeah,
they put Idris Elba for voice actor.
Yeah, I mean they're treating it like it's a new game, but it's also an ongoing game. I don't know. It's interesting.
It's weird.
All right, so best narrative: Alan Wake 2,
Baldur's Gate
3, Phantom Liberty again.
And I removed my point 3 because for some reason it's in this fucking list, so I don't know why.
Oh yeah, see,
Final Fantasy 16 and Marvel Spider-Man 2.
No Diablo 4.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win the shit out
yeah,
of that anyway.
yeah.
So it doesn't
There's
matter.
not even a
Yeah,
fucking
probably
close
Baldur's.
second.
Yeah.
I would say Starfield actually probably more than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I did not like Spider-Man 2's story. To me, was really weak this year.
That's what everybody's saying.
But I'll probably go why in another spoiler cast or something.
There's a lot more dialogue and story being told in a game like Starfield too, like amount of conversations and stuff you're having. But anyway, it's just like it's so bad. Like some of these. Anyway, best game direction. We're getting close, guys.
One more after this.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Fucking Nintendo love is strong with people.
They really are. Wow.
Yeah,
Best
pretty
game
heavy.
direction. A fucking Mario game that's fucking been around for 20 years. You go left to fucking right. Oh my god, mind fucking blown.
I would literally take Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda off of this list.
Yep.
Because they're all pretty
Actually,
much the same.
I could see Zelda because it did kind of do some good stuff for Zelda with all the building stuff,
With
like
like
the mechs and stuff.
the ships and you
Okay,
could like
fair enough.
build whatever you want. So I would keep that and take off Wonder
And Spider-Man.
and Spider-Man. Spider-Man is literally an expanded DLC from Miles Morales, which people might get mad at me for saying.
What
but
we're
it's-
seeing is an obvious trend of certain styles of games,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Throughout permeated through this entire list, certain styles of games are definitely appreciated more than others, right? Non-Xbox games. And last category. Here's the big dog. And all of a sudden it doesn't work. Okay. Game of the year, 6 categories. Could have been 10 this year. Right? Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3,
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 4,
Mhm.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. I got 5 out of these 6 correct on the list we did on Friday. I
Did you?
didn't get Resident Evil 4.
I don't think anyone was predicting Resident
Yeah.
Evil or being up here.
I
I
think,
think we
got
all kind of
5.
figured it was excluded.
Didn't you write down the list?
I did, but I got rid of it.
Oh, okay.
I
I
had
know
it
I
on
got 4 out of the
Notepad.
6.
I know I got my list here. Like
The 2 I've
Alan
missed
Wake
was
2 I got, Baldur's Gate 3 I got, Spider-Man 2 I got, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So I got 4 of them right.
that's
What I messed up on was I thought Starfield would make it, and I thought Hogwarts would make it. Apparently,
Pong got
I
it
didn't get the memo
100%.
from the gaming media, so you know.
Pong was the
Yeah.
only one that mentioned both Mario Wonder and Zelda and Baldur's
Oh, yeah.
Gate.
He didn't know, but he didn't get Resident Evil.
No,
No
that's-
one, no
one
one could
got
have
Resident Evil.
predicted.
Yeah, did anyone see that one coming? Like as
No,
a game
Because
of the year?
I think everybody assumed that it was not, able to be included because of it being a remake. I think that was kind of like the
I
unwritten
don't think that's
understood.
the reason. I think people just assume that there's so much other new shit out this year that's like, why are we going to put a fucking remake in it?
Yeah, I mean, you put
Yeah.
exactly.
put Starfield there.
I mean,
Dead Space was a better remake than Resident Evil 4.
I mean, they were both
right.
great.
But
I like Resident Evil 4
Dead
and
Space.
Dead Space.
But Dead Space was a totally from the ground up rebuild. Is Resident Evil 4? I don't know.
they both did like
They're both from
my
the
whole
ground
point.
up.
Yeah, like my whole thing is just like same what I said before. Like with Resident Evil being here in this year makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
When there's so many other amazing games, the
I
fact
mean-
that what the heck, like it's the one game that I'm like, really, like that could have been left out.
Yeah, you take that out, you could make room for Starfield. You could do Hi-Fi Rush. You could do.
But I also didn't think Starfield would. I kind of went back and forth like with Starfield making it because of all the backlash with the media and stuff. It's my personal game of the year, but I knew the media sees it differently, so I was like, okay, it might not make it. I just didn't expect Resident Evil.
I could have even seen like Armored Core or Street Fighter up there, even like, or Hogwarts, obviously. Like there's a lot of other options.
Like
Jedi.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it should be nominated for Game of the Year, there's a bunch of other ones because it's broken. Like
this
I
also
would put
goes to
over
show
Resident
that
Evil 4.
they don't have to include an indie game every year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I put an indie game on that list the other night we did it.
Yeah.
And we don't have one.
Yeah, what happened with
Since it's self-published, I still consider Larian, even though they're probably not by size indie, but since they are self-published, I still consider them.
So like Resident Evil 4 remake is this year's Stray. It just doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Like last year with Stray, I was like, what the fuck is that doing there? You know, like this year it's like Resident Evil 4 remake. It's like, what the fuck is that doing there? And this year where we had so many amazing brand new games and stuff.
Or sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I suspected that Tears of the Kingdom, I think that was like a guarantee for a lot of people. Yeah. I think Wander just kind of snuck up on a lot of this list.
There was a lot of people saying it. I just didn't think that they would put two Nintendo games in there.
If Super Mario Wonder came out in like January, February, ain't no fucking way it's here at the end of the year for Game of the Year.
Recency bias is what you're saying, Mav?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that does happen.
I mean, I don't know. I really would put. I think a lot of people would
like
put
Super
an
Mario
original
Bros.
Idea like Hi-Fi Rush over there. You know,
but Wander over like Hogwarts, something that's
Hogwarts,
that to me makes no sense. But like
Mario is revolutionized. You get these purple mushrooms now, and you do psychedelic world. It's fucking.
He turns into an elephant. Oh wait, that should make it.
It's like those two games I'm kind of questioning, like over Hogwarts and some of these other.
I'm not
games.
Gonna beat around the bush. Starfield belongs there. It does. Just I mean, like
it does, but
it definitely out of everything else that could be there.
Like
it belongs,
I agree.
It belongs there. It just does.
I feel like it at least deserved more nods than it gets. Like it doesn't have to win everything. Like honestly, part of this like being up there with the other awards and getting the recognition is almost as good as winning the awards in some cases.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
at the very least, get the recognition or give it where it's due. Like, yeah, it did have some issues, but for like a lot of people, it was Game of the Year. Like
it's one of
it
the most
deserves
talked
it.
about
Some people had issues with
games.
Spider-Man, so
it was literally the most talked about game of the year. Like if not, like the only other one that would beat it out would probably be Baldur's Gate, and I don't even think Baldur's Gate had that kind of talk around it. Like honestly,
Yeah.
the most talked about game was Hogwarts, followed by Starfield, followed by Baldur's
oh
Gate.
yeah,
As far as for time.
yeah, I forgot Hogwarts happened because apparently so did the Game
If
Awards.
we're really looking at
I
it,
just knew that they were just. I just knew they wouldn't do Hogwarts because it's too controversial. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
really this list should be Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, I guess, Starfield, Hogwarts Legacy, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even
That's what it
put
should be.
Spider-Man in there.
Who would argue with that?
I don't think anybody would have complained if it was that as far as the list. I mean, there would probably be some people who would be like, why is Hogwarts there? But then again, I think it still is the biggest selling game so far this year. And other than reviewers that purposely gave it bad scores because of, issues with the original license holder, it scored really well outside of that. So if even for people that aren't Harry Potter fans, which I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
I haven't even watched all the movies until I played Hogwarts. I played Hogwarts. I was like, I want to watch the Harry Potter movies, and I fucking went watch it.
Game is great.
So it definitely deserved a position or a spot, but I kind of understand. I don't agree that it was. Yeah, I don't agree with why they snubbed it, but I can understand why they snubbed it. But in the grand scheme of things, that just goes to show that it's not really about the game being, this transformative or ultimate or great experience. It's more so about, well, it may have been a great game, but public perception, yeah, it's not going to give enough views if we put that in the list. So let's keep it off the list.
I honestly think it's just a
Yeah.
popularity contest for the media. Like it's just what the
Mhm.
media, I mean, it's just what the media is into. And there's been a trend where I think there's a disconnect between games media and the actual gamers. And
Yeah.
that's why when you have this panel that's there, like it's like there's a bunch of writers and stuff, and like you kind of question their integrity and bias a lot of times, like we do. You know what I mean? And it's like real clear about what they're into and what they don't like, and they kind of let it be known. And you have a bunch of like um people that really don't, I feel like, have an understanding about the history of games and gaming as much as like a lot of people in the community that are hardcore gamers do, that like have this deep love and passion for it. Instead, it's just like this, well, I'm just gonna ride on this trend of what everybody around me feels, and that's in their offices at these like media companies and stuff. And like I there's just a disconnect, and that's just no way around it. That's why the reviews hit the way they do. That's why it feels like that Xbox tax thing is real at times too, because a lot of the gaming media just doesn't care about Xbox, right? It's just a less popular console brand and platform.
They don't
to
make
them.
bangers.
Like it's according to them, but like for us, like fucking like that's all I pretty much played this year is Xbox stuff. Like I just think overall this is just a stamp on that, and it just makes it more transparent and more clear about the games media. It just doesn't see eye to eye and in line with what a lot of gamers feel and think, and that's kind of a problem when they're the ones doing all the reviews and doing things like this too, right? And I don't really know how to fix it. It's just broken, and it's just kind of is what it is, and we just have to
Yeah.
accept that the perception that's permeated out there by games media and stuff is just never going to match up with our thoughts, and that's just is what
You're
it is.
right. In reality, they should just remove all the other nominees from the Game of the Year list and put Baldur's Gate 3 up there because it's going to win anyway.
It
so.
is. Baldur's Gate 3 is
Mhm,
going to
mhm.
sweep this damn thing.
Yeah.
And rightfully so,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I think Starfield is my personal game of the year, but like if I was to be like biased about my own preference between the two games, I would say Baldur's Gate 3 is more of the masterpiece between those two, right? And I think it should represent that, and I think it's going to win. I think there's certain games that deserve more respect than they've gotten, or they get left out in a bunch of different categories. So this isn't just about Starfield or whatever. Like we went through every single one of these fucking categories. We talk about multi-plats, we talk about third-party stuff a lot as well that got left out. But it just seems like you see the same trend of the same kinds of games that are accepted as the popular quality type games that the media sees, and that's
Yeah.
what's going to be
I was
represented.
making a joke that since Sony is releasing, all we know about is Helldivers 2, that's automatically going to be in the nominations. I mean, that's just kind of
Mhm.
how it
Obviously.
is. Yeah, it's just how it is. But I am wondering, over time, we know Xbox has so many different games in the works. If media perception, because PlayStation is such a powerful brand to many people, you ask someone on the street what they're playing, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm playing on my PlayStation." It's like rarer that someone will say Xbox, right? It's just PlayStation is the more powerful brand. So what I'm thinking is over time, if that will ever shift, with all the games that Xbox has in production, with Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2, Elder Scrolls in the future.
It's not about
If
those games. It's shifting because of ABK.
Yeah, and also I
I
think
mean,
Xbox is in the future actually loses its identity more than it is now. I think eventually it's just going to be about games because Xbox is diversifying into so many different platforms now that it's just going to be about games and not necessarily Xbox is the brand.
But like people playing Diablo or people playing Call of Duty, like they're playing an Xbox game.
Yeah, but I think
You know?
it's going to be people just be like, oh, I'm playing Diablo, not I'm playing Xbox's Diablo.
No, I get it, but I think over time that branding recognition is actually going to become more cemented to the Xbox brand than it is right now, right? Like it just doesn't feel like it yet because they just got acquired. But over time, all the marketing, all of the messaging, all of the like.
I'm just wondering when the media will do it, because even with MLB The Show, it rated like 91 every year, 91, 91. The year it was on Xbox, it was the lowest rating MLB The Show. So that just goes into this sort of messaging that the media is very like there is an Xbox tax. Like I do genuinely believe that. I'm just wondering if over time the Xbox just has so many titles that tax either lessens or people just, or if it'll just continue like kind of how it is now. I don't know if you guys have any comment on that, but this is something I've been wondering, like when Xbox starts to have that sort of ripple effect of games that's kind of, you can't really ignore it anymore.
I think they've already started. I think it's just people
I mean, they had like 80 plus, they have like what, 80 plus games this year. So like, I mean, they had good reviewed games. It's just, I don't know.
I think that over time it's just going to happen like naturally. Like I feel like the more these games come out and stuff, it's like there's going to be individually one that connects with all these different people, and over time they're going to be like, I was an idiot for so long, I was fucking stupid for a decade, but now I'm accepting and going to learn to like everything. I don't know.
And we really
next
should.
Year they're going to have four. They're going to have 4+ games that, compared to the direct competing platform, is probably going to have 2 of its own. So, and we already know one of them is MLB. So I don't see how next year they get ignored without it being even more of a slight that's, transparent or visible or in everyone's face kind of thing. But next year should be an interesting one to see how the awards go. I look at it as I'm done with gaming media and the award shows, that if it's going to be more so for the marketing aspect of things, then I'm not the target. I already own the stuff that I want, play the stuff that I want. So the only benefit would be to watch the game trailer releases.
I mean, that's the most exciting part about this anyway, is seeing what fucking new games are going to come out next year at this show. So
the trailers are available on your preferred platforms, YouTube, minutes after anyway. So it's like, maybe I can go to bed early that night.
To everybody that would be out there saying like, oh, the Xbox tax thing is so stupid, all this blah blah blah, your crybabies, all this, whatever. I get it. If you don't like hearing it, just don't listen. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
I mean, just wait until it flips, though. Wait until Xbox becomes too dominant in the market, and then other platforms suffer because it's more profitable to talk good about Xbox and bad about anything else.
Yeah,
like,
it's all about clicks.
It's all
Xbox
it's all cyclical. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Pendulum's gonna swing.
It is for sure. It always does, right? So overall, like I think you have to be like really in the Xbox ecosystem and like have love for the games and stuff to really see the Xbox tax thing that everybody talks about. Like it, like I see some people like, oh, what are they talking about? This doesn't exist, or like just because of this or just because of this. But they don't realize like this history of the culmination of like all these different things, right? It's like it all adds up over time. There's all these like examples and instances about the media and doing the things they do and acting the way they do towards the brand, that when you have love for the games and you have love for the ecosystem because that's where you primarily play and you have passion for the hobby, you see this, right? And it's like, why do they keep shitting on our stuff? right? Why do they keep shitting on this? Why do they keep shitting on this? Why does this keep happening?
Who keeps letting Amber Heard in
Right.
here? Fucking get her out of
But
here.
like you take one instance in a vacuum. Oh, you're just mad because they don't like your game. Oh no, it's because they didn't like any of our fucking games for like a decade.
They left him off.
You
They
know
left
what I
the
mean?
fucking
Like-
Xbox brand off all the trailers. They left it off all the fucking lists. They shit on it for fucking being 800p instead of 900p. It's like,
Yeah.
As a whole,
It's the 2 months of articles about Starfield afterwards that were all shitting on Starfield. I haven't seen another game get that this entire year, right? All for clickbait pieces. People making articles like, I forgot about Starfield already 2 months later. You really fucking forgot about it, bro? You literally just wrote an article about it. Right? Like, why not write about other games you fucking forgot about? Oh, yeah, because you actually did fucking forget about them, you fucking moron. So then you have all these other instances of all these other things, and then you see this kind of stuff. It's a pattern, and it becomes too obvious and blatant to see. And that's why these things exist, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. And you just take one example, like I said, yeah, you can make an excuse. You can say, oh, you're ridiculous for thinking that way because of that, or because of that, or because of that. But not when you add it up over fucking years. Over years of this shit. Right? Just constant bullshit stuff all the time. And then they want to act like it doesn't exist. This fucking shit exists. It is what it is. And I don't know how to fix it. Maybe there will never be a way to fix it or whatever, but it is. I guess we'll just have to accept it, you know?
It'll fix itself like G4 fixed itself.
that's what I was gonna say. It's just
Right.
media going out
It'll
of
cease
business.
being profitable.
Meanwhile, you have IGN praising that little shit fucking handheld from PlayStation today. Like, while every other media outlet's like dogging on it, be like, I don't understand the point of this existing. This is such a waste of money. IGN's like 8 out of 10, the most owned device for PlayStation. Like,
That's how you know the check cleared.
IGN. I don't understand.
I mean,
like,
Is the dick made by PlayStation?
PlayStation D.
It has
Yeah,
haptic feedback dick.
It's got haptic feedback in the balls, dude.
For the whole portable
$4.99, you can buy a PlayStation dildo.
It's got a blowhole in it, just like your DualSense controller.
The funniest thing about that whole portable thing is that, okay, it sells for $200. You already have to have a $500 console to even be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set
And
5
you're
feet
paying
away.
the $200 for like $50 worth of parts. Like,
And you have to
the
buy all
controller
your games.
retails for $70, but the actual pieces probably cost Sony $20 to $30. The screen probably costs another $20 or $30. So you're paying $150 extra for them to have profit in their pockets when you could just as easily use your existing phone or your iPad or your tablet that you already have. The only difference is you don't get the haptic feedback in the controller. But then you could use your controller with your tablet. So, yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, it would have made more sense for them to put an app on like the Steam Deck or make it so
you're
an
using
app
your PlayStation as the
TV,
the console, the TV,
Yeah.
essentially. Also, so it's just like,
can you even play from anywhere but your own home? Like, have they confirmed that portion?
It's like remote play. As long as you have strong Wi-Fi at your house where the PlayStation is and wherever you're at has strong Wi-Fi, you can.
Right.
The thing is, it'll be extra latency.
But yeah, they want to do cloud gaming, but
you could pay extra for their higher speed stuff.
Yeah.
If you ain't doing that, then yeah, you might as well not even bring it. You're better
Well,
off
it's kinda-
bringing your phone and a backbone or something like that.
Right. It's kind of sad that they were like innovating in cloud gaming for a while, and now they just don't want to invest in like the servers or anything. Is what it seems like with that particular move. They're just like, you have to have a PlayStation to do it.
To have any cloud storage, and yeah,
this is the dumbest thing. Anyway, like, it's funny.
We're gonna move into the future by going backwards.
Well, it's a weird thing, like with the portable. Yeah, there's some things that popped up, and right now we don't have them. we won't be getting them on time. So
Ooh.
Well, Pete
Yeah.
Pete has a question. He says, question to the panel: would you change the opinion if it could stream PS5 games down the line once they get the streaming right?
I'll be honest, all cloud devices are fucking dumb as fuck to me, but
Yeah,
that's
no.
just my opinion.
Yeah, I
It would
think
help. Like ultimately for me, a perfect situation for that portable is charge an extra 200, have it so I can play PS4 games natively, maybe small like under 50 gig games that are PS5 games natively
Mhm.
put in
at a
the
lower
card.
resolution, have it where I can stream anything from my PS Plus subscription,
Mhm.
then I would consider it. But at 200, where it's just like what I do with my phone already, or I can do for
Mhm.
my PC, or if I install Chiaki on my Steam Deck, no.
Or the fact that you
I
need
got
a
a Steam Deck.
500 console just for it to work, like that's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
inconvenient. Like, let's
Literally.
say, I don't know.
It's
just
a
solving-
$200 Wii U gamepad.
Yeah, solving a problem that nobody had.
Yeah. So
and
if
actually,
they
the
did,
Wii
you guys
gamepad
go
is
for
better
it.
because it was like not using the like console streaming necessarily feature. Like it was anyway.
Yeah, what
Um,
Mitchie said. There's no Bluetooth. Like, I don't know. Let's
Yeah.
All right, are y'all ready for some tidbits?
Oh yeah.
do it,
Tidbits.
dude. Boots.
All right, everybody, let's get into some tidbits.
Hogwarts.
Let me know when you're ready to start.
We are ready, Jasper. All right, this is tidbits, the segment. Or I guess not yet. This is tidbits, the segment on FSP where we look ahead at the games releasing for the week. Okay, we're good to go.
Okay.
Speaking of a game that got snubbed,
I trust you're ready for your first
The
day at
Switch
Hogwarts.
version.
Hogwarts,
Can't believe I'm
Hogwarts.
here.
no
that
nominations.
doesn't look too bad.
at
I
all.
thought it
You
would
have
look like
come
more
this far
potato-y.
tells me that you possess extraordinary
yeah, it's
magical
actually
ability.
shocking how decent
We can
this looks.
expect great things from
Yeah,
it's
you.
not bad.
Another beginning of a bright
It's amazing
and
what
you can do when you
magical
optimize the game.
future.
Yeah.
But yet,
I
here we go.
wager there's a
Game
good deal
Awards
more
snubbed
to your
it.
travels here than what you've told me, isn't there?
Not the Switch version.
Give me your hand!
Yeah, this game was great. If anyone hasn't played
You
it,
said you
check
could
it
get
out.
to the child when they came to Hogsmeade.
It's
It
very
actually
fun.
got me into the
child.
Harry Potter
What are you not
universe.
telling me?
Before I was like, I don't give a
Can I
fuck about it.
see?
So.
Magic.
My main complaint with this game was they didn't
Of
have
ancient magic, to be precise.
that game.
A magic
You
this
fly around on a
powerful can be
broomstick. What's it
great
called?
harm
Quidditch?
to one
Oh,
hand.
Quidditch.
They didn't have Quidditch. That was my main.
The power you
Oh,
stand
man.
to wield
We're
must
making a Quidditch
first be
game.
fully understood.
they should do it as
That seems like a
DLC.
miss.
I'm afraid we
Yeah,
don't
sure
have
did.
the luxury of time.
The second Hogwarts
Literally.
Legacy
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put it in a sequel.
2. It'll be the most.
And that's like a complaint where I'm like, they added so much to that game, and then on top of that, that would have been nice.
Like this game.
I mean, honestly though, the broom flying in that game was kind of ass. So like, probably good.
Yeah.
They can compliment
It took a while to get
Never
used
seen
to.
so powerful a goblin.
This game was co-op.
will crumble.
If anyone can rise to this
Oh yeah,
challenge,
co-op
my
would be
friend,
cool. Like
it is
different houses
you.
or something, but
Yeah.
it was already so
I'm ready
big.
for whatever comes
Again,
next.
all that stuff would just be additive for me. Like, what was already in there was like,
Oh
it
no,
was,
I love it. Hogwarts is one of my favorite games last year.
yeah, it was
Oh,
incredible.
last year, why you played it that early, huh?
Yep, $59.99 on
Or-
Switch.
Was
This past year.
Yeah,
Okay.
Invincible.
they have a game.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it? What is
Adam
this?
Eve.
What is this?
It's
Let's say,
$14.99 on PC.
She has nipples.
Is this your like superhero thing you're making 3-bit?
What is this?
It's an Invincible, like Telltale
Dating sim?
type game or something.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
no,
a
it looks
Invincible
like an
dating
Invincible
sim.
yeah,
Invincible dating game.
yeah.
Invincible
Kinda
dating
Hero
He
sim.
dating
is-
sim.
He was like, oh man, it said flirt.
You play as the girl, I guess, the whole time.
Man, this soundtrack slaps.
Invincible.
Don't wanna be.
What's the game called?
Invincible presents Adam and Eve.
That's really the name. That's It's a terrible
Not
name.
Adam and
Invincible is defeated. No.
It's Adam, Atom, and Eve.
Oh,
Olivia
yeah.
Turok 3. Wow.
Remastered.
I want a new Turok game.
This is from
It
Night Dive,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a new Turok game?
$39.99 possibly on console. Pricing isn't available at this moment, but it is going to be probably around $19.99 on PC.
Why is it that high? Look at these graphics.
One of you must become the son of stone.
The remaster price.
That's a
It doesn't show
stretch.
anything. It looks like they just
Oh
ported it.
man, you've got
I
mail.
used to play Turok. I love Turok.
Oh, man.
I know when we were doing like I think it was like E3 predictions, whatever. I said Turok was like one of the games I wanted to like.
None of this
come
makes
out with.
any sense.
Oh. Well, it's cool to see
Took
that
the words out
it's
of my
getting-
mouth, dude.
Getting somewhat of a update.
You ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
I like Turok.
They are
This
Turok,
is not a
as was
remaster.
their brother before
It's,
them.
it doesn't look. I'm not gonna lie. It
I
does
think
not
it.
look-
I think they just
but
upped the res.
Yeah, I think they upped the res and added some anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
It's like we're calling it there.
Like,
Ship
oh,
it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Night Dive does really good work, so it seems like
What else
maybe
do they
this
do?
Quick
They
to
did that Doom game and a couple other ones, right?
Quick to remaster.
Some new
I
textures.
think.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure they did Quick to remaster, didn't they?
I don't know if they did.
I think they
Let's buy Atari.
Maybe
they
didn't.
did Doom at least.
Atari's published. What the heck? I haven't seen them in a while.
Night Dive.
I'm so confused.
Tear it out. Ooh, I'm looking forward. This comes out this week. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, it's been out. I think this is just the.
Yeah, they
From the
did Quick.
console.
They did Quick 2. They did System Shock. That new System Shock that remaster that came out. That
Yeah.
Doom
Yeah, this is-
64.
This is the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series version. 3-bit. It's been on.
Oh, okay. Got you.
$29.99.
I really want to just blow things up in this game. Check it out. Check out like the destruction.
I thought this was coming to Game Pass, but I
I
couldn't
thought so
find
too.
anything.
That's what I was gonna
Same.
bring up, but then I was like,
Oh, wait,
It's not showing it on Xbox's site, so I guess it's one of those. I think they'll when it's released, they'll probably be announced for Game Pass, but they didn't do any prior thing saying in Game Pass. With the, I guess they're
It looks
trying
pretty
to
fun.
gear people
actually.
towards pre-orders.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was Heck Game Pass. I guess. not.
Reord says it's PlayStation Plus. I don't know. Maybe.
interesting.
Oh, well. They got one.
Okay. Well, this video is age
Age
restricted.
restricted.
Ah.
Which one was that?
It was the
Oh.
Last Faith.
Yeah, I thought I got one where it wouldn't be age restricted.
How is it? It's age restricted on Nintendo's website or YouTube
Come in.
page.
This is the brother.
Yeah.
Well, that's a first-person.
Which Assassin's Creed is this?
Abstergo are working on a
VR.
using
Oh, this is
technology
yeah. It's
profiling
the
and
Creed
alignment
next.
with
Man.
Templar beliefs.
Motion sickness simulator.
Yeah.
Plus 2 and 3.
Memories of 3
Pricing
Jump off into that
is
hay barrel.
The American Revolution.
$39.99.
I must strike now.
That might be pretty sick.
Cassandra.
This
The
one,
one thing
you
is-
actually like travel
time for
between
talking is
times, so you
over.
go to like ancient Rome and stuff like that, and then like
Oh,
That's great.
industrial London and stuff.
And apparently you can play as Cassandra.
The Italian
From
noble.
Odyssey.
Yeah, it's like a bunch.
Auditore.
You jump between a bunch of the different games, pretty much.
You need to go undercover and
So
stop
one thing in
Abstergo's
VR
plans
is
at all
it's still
costs.
kind of weird to walk around while
Time
moving
to
your
go to
head.
work.
Makes me so motion sick.
Yeah.
Like you walk with your controller, but also you're looking around, and yeah, it messes with my head sometimes. November 16th.
I'll pass.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
MetaQuest.
not yet rated.
Flashback 2. Flashback 2 is priced at $39.99 on console, $35.99 on PC, or at least on Steam with a current 10% off sale.
Unanswered questions.
Okay.
The only thing I know is that the
Flashback
morphs
to-
are still
I'm
there
looking at the
too.
gameplay. It's a lot different than first.
And if
Yeah.
I want to remember and to get out of
More
here,
fluid.
I
like,
have no choice.
Well, also like more like 3D instead of just like left to right.
Yeah.
Fight
Looks
them.
like there's actual.
Huh. Nice. I like anything cyberpunky.
Man, I have such a hard time getting into games like this, though, but I do enjoy them when they catch me.
Yeah, catch you by surprise. Those type of games. It
Yeah, I
reminds
think the
me of,
last-
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the last one I really played like that, like Metroidvania-ish, was like Shadow Complex.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about
I
to say.
played-
That. It reminded me
I
of
played the
Shadow
hell out
Complex.
of that game. I think I like
Yeah.
almost got all the achievements or got all of them. I can't remember.
Was that it this week?
No, it's still going.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Naruto.
Naruto versus
Oh,
Naruto,
it didn't-
Ultimate Ninja Storm
Naruto.
I'll
Connections,
pause it.
Yeah, it didn't. work. I gotta,
$59.99.
I gotta leave and come back.
I have most of these games, and I don't think I played a single one.
Let me know when you're back.
It just keep going on sale, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play it one day. And
Yeah.
then
All
I
right,
never do.
I'm back.
Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
One day I'll play this one.
I commend
I
you
don't.
on getting this far. But your time
I am
has
not
come
caught
to
up
an
on
end.
any of the
I'll show
new
you the vast
Naruto
gulf in our
stuff.
power.
Hey, this is
You
I
need to
finished
watch
Naruto.
the 3,000 episodes to catch up on the fucking storyline.
I mean, I finished Naruto, and then they made Boruto. So I finished. It was like this all-out ninja war or whatever, and then it ended. And I was like, okay, cool. And then eventually they're like, we're gonna continue and make Boruto. I'm like, nah, I'm good. So I have no idea what the heck I'm looking at.
This is a really shitty week so far.
The last game is the best game this week.
Okay.
The only
wanna play
anime thing
Hogwarts?
I've ever watched like this is Pokemon. I watched like the first 300 episodes, and I'm like, I can't watch it anymore. I just can't fucking do it anymore.
Oh, Naruto's great. I love Naruto.
Hey, there
I
was
don't know.
It's funny when people are doing the Spider-Man bug for Naruto.
there was one Naruto game. Naruto game I liked. It was like Ninja Storm, I think, something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty good.
this is Ninja Storm Collection.
Oh, okay.
Time to bid you farewell.
Oh, it's all. Oh,
This is the end.
so did I waste my money buying all of them? I could have just got this.
Yeah,
Have a nice flight.
it's the road leading up to
Flames of the
Naruto.
flaming mountains.
There's nothing you can do.
Baruto. You gotta say it like that.
Feel the power of the Kara.
All right. Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections.
Time for action.
Ninetales.
130 panelists on Game Awards are in this game.
That was the panelist.
Those are all the panelists.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking this up.
Dang, I should have just bought this instead of buying every time it goes on sale. I didn't know they were gonna do this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a cool collector's. I love shit like that. I gotta
Yeah.
give props for that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Bandai Namco.
Oh
is
shit, man! It happened
phenomenal
again.
with their collectors.
Oh, there
Persona
it goes.
5
This
Tactica. I'm still playing
yeah.
Persona 5. Like,
Oh, this is this week.
in a palace.
What's
Yep.
going on? Who are these people?
No idea.
Is this the last one, Jasper? Or no.
No.
Okay.
Fighting back. Hey, look over
This
This
is
is
the one I was excited about.
$59.99
this week.
and coming to Game Pass.
So you're telling me you're
Yeah,
thieves
GameStop
and steal
got the
Hogwarts, and you
coasters
just
for the
happened to
pre-order.
stumble into this world?
Add-on.
The Rebel
Oh, is this a
Queen will always
Persona
help
game?
Phantom Thieves,
Tactica.
just as the Phantom
Yeah.
Thieves have helped the Rebel
It's
I
a
don't
Queen.
have time for
Persona.
Forget
for
the
any of
legend
these
of Hogwarts.
games.
You can
There's
rely
too many
on
games this year.
Dude, it's, since Xbox got better, there's no time to play it.
But you're just a matter of little
There's no time to play any of these games. I might have time for like maybe
Unfortunately,
Persona
eternity
5
no easy feat.
Tactica, but I'm still playing Persona 5.
Somewhere
So I'm
deep
like,
inside,
hey,
I know you realize
I
things
can't play the
go on
Tactica
like
if I didn't
this.
beat the
So,
other one.
will you take a stand beside us?
For these kind of games, I have to be like interested in the world and shit to play them, and like I just don't give a fuck about Persona. So
Yeah.
I feel like you would like Persona 5, Jasper.
I promise you, I would not.
Really? No, I feel like the
The
story
man knows what he
cool in
likes.
Persona 5,
Mario's first
and I don't even play
adventure
like that.
returns.
I'm not even into Persona games like that, but I thought Persona 5 was really cool.
This will be big.
Alright.
Yeah, this is the last game this week.
This is gonna be game of the year.
Oh, too late.
It's up to it. No, we still got November 17th. It could take out Baldur's Gate.
It's a remake. It don't count. It
Man.
should be nominated.
Oh, it could replace RE4.
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
Nintendo would get 3 slots.
They'll add another slot.
Why
This
are
one in
there
it.
trailers fucking tutorials on how to play the game? Like,
Yeah. Why does this look like a crazy money grab? This week, Mario does everything, whether you want him to or not.
I never played Mario RPG, but I always wanted to. It looks so fun. But it's
Yeah.
never-
What is it on? I guess it's.
this is on
Just
Xbox.
Switch?
Yeah, this is on Xbox 3-bit.
No, I'm just wondering if they did mobile. Is this...
No, this is Switch.
No, this is on
Yeah.
the Switch.
Just Switch. Okay.
Yeah, this is a remake of the
Set off
classic
for
Mario
adventure with
RPG.
Mario and Friends. When Super Mario
Buy it now or wait until Switch 2 comes out and then buy it again.
Yeah, I'll just wait until Switch 2.
No backwards compatibility, silly.
Is this coming to my PlayStation?
Is it
Yeah,
coming to
I mean,
Game
backwards-
Pass?
Backwards compatibility don't matter when you
PlayStation
can
is
just pay another
spelled
$70 for it.
SWS.
Does it have cross-buy with Xbox and PC?
Is it gonna be in my PS Plus?
Yeah. I mean, it slow start. The last 3 things, I think, Jasper saved it for
Yeah.
this week. So yeah,
Not
the
bad.
Naruto. I always used to
Naruto.
say Naruto. I'm sorry. I know it's Naruto, but my hick Texan ass still says
Your
Naruto.
English not good.
Yeah.
Naruto out there.
Yeah, it's a,
You and your Naruto.
yeah, it's that Naruto collection looks
I'm an
pretty
American. I don't
okay.
understand all this Naruto Japanese show.
God dang it.
Boruto.
Why does he keep screaming?
God damn it.
Why
I'll
is he
stick
always so
I'll
angry?
stick my nuts,
He always run with
Naruto.
his hands behind his back like that.
Why is
Believe
his hands like that? I don't understand. Why does he run so funny like?
That make him
But
run
god damn, that boy's fast.
Is he always running into the wind?
Yes,
Wow.
he is. He's gonna be the #1 ninja.
That
Why is he
that
wearing an
Naruto
orange
sure is
prison
fast.
jumpsuit?
It's hot outside. Why is he still wearing a jumpsuit?
Why is his name Naruto?
Believe it, man. Just gotta believe.
Okay.
Oh, the one game because of age inappropriateness was Teardown at $29.99. It's kind of like a Metrovania kind of.
age restricted game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh no, the Last of Faith. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
$27.99. Coming to PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC this Wednesday. So.
Yeah, it looks like a really
nice
cool Metro.
Metrovania.
Yeah, kind of game.
It's like pretty good week for games, but like again, I can't play any of those. There's too many. I have to go through Alan Wake, and then I wanted to go back and play like some of the Yakuza games because I want to finish all the Yakuza games. And then I was like, oh, I want to finish Persona 5. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I want to finish that.
Dark.
I didn't even finish Starfield. So every time I play Starfield, I get freaking like, ooh, what's in the corner over there? And I end up in a mission that lasts like 5 hours. And I'm like, well, dang, did I do anything in the story? No. And then, yes, this is too much.
Cool, 3-bit.
It
Where
was-
can everybody find you, bro?
Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. I will be posting some of my work this week, so keep an eye out. My commercial work and stuff like that. And love y'all. I'll be on Fun Pop tomorrow, where we will discuss probably Loki. We'll probably be talking about Loki and
And the Marvels.
and the Marvels, and probably Hereditary a little bit, a sprinkle of some great shows. So if you guys want to see that, tune into Fun Pop tomorrow. I'm on that show and this show, and then Friday when I can make it. Love y'all, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Oh, man. Thanks for a bit. Yeah, and chat, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all as well. Fuzzy, where can everybody find you, sir?
Oh, just awesome time with you guys. Always appreciate being here with you guys on Monday evenings. And everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming out. Hit the like button while you're here. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at @fuzzy_Belvedere. And then look forward to seeing you guys hopefully here on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Xbox. The Xbox Ultimate.
Right on, man. Appreciate you, Fuzzy Belvedere. Bob, Mr. Game Pass Dad, thanks for being here as well, sir. Tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Dude, thank you again for having me. Whenever I have time to pop in, always a pleasure to be here and talking with you fellas. I appreciate you so much. You can find me as Game Pass Dad on all the platforms, but primarily Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Check me out there. Working on doing some more gaming commentary on my YouTube lately. But yeah, thank you guys again for having me. Make sure to hit the like button, and I'll see you guys the next time I'm around.
Appreciate you, Bob. And Jasper, what about you, sir?
Yeah, apparently people were saying Arc Ascendant came out. I don't know. I thought it was in October, but maybe it got delayed till this week or whatever. So
that's what they're talking about.
if
Cool.
anyone's an Arc fan out there, that came out, I guess.
Right on.
But anyway, Lord Jasper, Twitter, Lord Master Jasper, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 10 o'clock, right here. Fun speculation channel with FSP, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate. That's where I am. That's what I do. Check it out. Have fun.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you as always, Jasper. And Psychonauts, what about you, sir?
It's an honor always. You guys are fantastic. You bring the energy day in, day out. Without you guys, we can't do anything. We can't do any of this, so we appreciate all the love. But you can find me on social medias, being disturbed by idiots everywhere. But find me at Psychonauts8. And Monday, Tuesday, Fridays on the Fun Speculation Network. You can find me there on the great shows that Matt has. And don't forget, Thursday is one of the best shows he does with Punk Soul. PM and PM. Great podcast. You need to watch it.
Thanks, man.
What about you, Matt? Where can they find you?
Where do we find you, Matt?
Thanks, bro. Yeah, right here on Fun Speculation, everybody. Come check out our shows every week. Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Got something every night for you. And hey, audio listeners, appreciate you all as well. If you did like the content today, hit the like button, share it out, sub to the channel, notification bell, all that cool stuff. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Are amazing. Hey, remember, no matter what the Game Awards says, ultimately, we like to bitch about it, but it doesn't matter because you still enjoy the games you like, and it doesn't matter what other people think about them. And love your games, play your games, and maybe next year they'll get nominated. Who knows? Maybe somebody else will respect
Or they won't.
you next year. But yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, or they won't. They most likely won't. Your favorite
Maybe we'll
game,
make our own game.
your favorite game will never be nominated. Just let that be known, chat. But no, for real though, just play the games. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's all bullshit. And just for our entertainment, I'm still gonna love to watch the Game Awards, hoping for some cool ass announcements. And that's what it's really all about at the end of the day. So have a good one. Peace out, everybody, and take it easy. Good night.
Bye.
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 Oh.